And we're live.
Hey, Quibs.
Hey,
How are you?
Good. Hey, guys, just real quick. Tommy may lose internet. Apparently, it's like crazy in Salinas there on October 31st. They really get down. So if he does, then we lose it for the night. Hey, I wanted to welcome in Sam Ashby. Sam came from my channel, and she's never been here before. So welcome over, Sam. I love that.
Really?
Yeah. So look, I'll show you. You're here from Reese's channel. First time here.
Good timing.
Yeah, I love that. Lots of people are here, babe. All of our friends. Jane Aldrich, just Joan. Diana H is here. I love that. Hey, Island Hippie Girl. Angel K is here. There's Jane Aldrich again. Meredith Lynn, Caroline in Canada. DS Kitty Diane, all of our favorites. Buffy made it. Anna Banana's here. Katie Fulton. Hey, babe. Solo Traveler, Squirrel Girl, Pat Jonas, Lumen, Amy Edge. A lot of our people. Hey, Yawn. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween to you, too.
I don't know if you noticed, I tried to get a bit edgy.
You're edgy? Ooh, look at that.
It's trying to get a bit.
Is that a watch on your right hand? What is it?
I finally, I did.
No. I was referring to the ring. It kind of looked like a watch face.
Oh, no, it's a sun and a moon.
Nice.
Do you see the cat? Do you see the cat at the top?
I do. Yes, I do.
Yes, I do. Yes, I
do.
So,
Mark, you do it up here, Quibs.
Look at Liz is here, huh?
I said, boy, do they do it up here for Halloween.
Do they really? Tell us about it.
Never seen anything like this in my life. Like the parade went on for probably 30 minutes, and it was just like marching band after marching band and dancers and people in costume on stilts and people, just really get into it. There's so many people in costume. It's crazy.
I love that. I think that's so cool. That whole culture is very cool. Liz Trix is here, babe. Margie Barr, Armine, Wanda Parks, and Debbie Bam. I love Debbie Bam. She just sent me some stuff, and she's really a kind person. I love her.
You were expecting a costume? I'm rocking one. You just don't recognize it.
You do kind of look like you have on the nose with the glasses attached.
I do that every time, though. There's no getting away from that. It's just kind of how it works.
I love your nose, but it does kind of look like that tonight with the mustache. Yeah. Hey, Angie Mo. Hey, Joanne Holly. Renee B.
Well, I would shave it, but I get death threats every time I tell you, look, see the face? That's right.
Shave it would be really bad, but if you dyed it.
Stop with the absolute rumors about dyeing. And look, you see? We went over this last time. It's coming in white.
Because I caused that?
Some of them. Wouldn't say all of them.
Looking down the barrel of the long con?
Didn't help. I mean, it helped turn me gray. But I know you dig the gray thing, so works out, right?
That was the plan. I was just trying to age you so you could come back around sexier.
I could have probably just bought some gray hair dye, but next time, you know what I mean? You live and learn.
That's one way to live your life.
That's it.
I planned it that way. The rumors, Buffy, the rumors. So what's going on with you? What are you up to? What are you doing?
So it's been an adventurous day here. Actually got a call from the owner of the building. They're going to be coming in for an 8-hour day, 3 days in a row to do some work in here. And won't that be a good time?
That sucks.
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer. But you know something? It's not like there's not a lot to do around here. The ocean, I don't know if I sent you any of the videos today, but the ocean is it's been high tide all day. It's just gotten higher tide. It's been ridiculous. There are tons of people out there surfing. The water is way different today than I've ever seen it here. It's really, it's rocking.
I love the ocean there. It's so pretty. The people are nice. It's just a really cool area. It's a really nice place.
Yes, it is. I dig it. I dig it.
So I said right before we hopped on, Tommy had to fix his audio, and I was like, what are we talking about tonight? I don't even know.
You know, we never really got in. We never did that in the past.
I mean, yeah, I don't do a topic on my channel, but I figured we'd come up with something. When are you going to the Galapagos?
You know something? I wouldn't go alone. So maybe after my friend gets here. The Galapagos is so it's a
Maybe you
good
don't have
boat
to
ride
be
once you
shy.
get there. What's that?
We're over that. You don't have to be shy.
Don't judge me.
You can even name your friend.
Oh man, I'm weeks away from that. I'm weeks away from that. I'm waiting to see the results come back from the polls I've been doing, trying to see how people are gauging the.
Are you trying to see how many subs you can lose?
No, you know what? I finally dipped below 24. You know, I was comfortably 100 over that for about a month, and then we did this, and it just went pow.
And it crashed. It bottomed out.
It did, and you know what? It doesn't bother me. I'll be honest with you. It's just a swap out. You know what I mean? I'm just swapping out one crew for another, and look, I've gotten some really beautiful things that people have written, and
some really ugly things too.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, there's some of that goes on.
You know, I have to be honest. Yeah, Joanne Holly, it's quite warm there. They're going into their summer.
Yeah, it's about to be. It's 75 degrees every day, and some of those days the sun shines. So
Come get them. Yeah. So let's actually. Hey, Miss Sunrise Dawn. No, Jess Jones says, do you really care who you lost with like 7 question marks? No, we don't care, but it's still fun sometimes to just point that like, it's so interesting how little we care. I shouldn't speak for Tommy. I'll speak for me. It really is so freeing to just own on what you believe in and do your thing. If Tommy and I can, Sam Ashby, if Tommy and I can come back from, hey, Cliff Ant. Oh, she says, hi, Tommy. Never mind. I thought you were saying hi to both of us. That's all.
Okay, good to see you. I'm sure she meant hello to everyone. They get you every day.
Tommy.
I've been on the land.
If Tommy and I
sorry, go ahead.
If you and I can Renee B, if you and I can come back from what we have been through, and just all the things we've been through, I don't feel any kind of way anymore about what people think about my choices or decisions that I make or my mistakes that I make. It's such a freeing feeling to go, let me make my decisions and in turn, mistakes.
You know, the funny thing about that is that it's so much more than YouTube, right? It's absolutely across the board. One of the most fascinating things that has happened to me in my 39 years on planet Earth is that when you live in a developed nation, there are a lot of people that tell you virtually everything. They tell you what you should buy. They tell you what you should find attractive. They tell you how you should live, what shirts make you cool, what shoes make you cool. And when you pop out of that environment for any length of time, and there aren't 6,000 billboards that you see a day, and there aren't car commercials that sell, you know, everything that is sold. You know, they package it up really well in our country, in America. And it's bizarre to go someplace where that doesn't exist and see what it does to your psyche. Because honestly, there's something, say it like I mean it, damn! That
was a good one. That was really good.
It's been a long time. I practiced after the last show. I felt like I came in a little light.
That was good.
I didn't deliver last time. I kind of feel bad about it.
Yes, Kitty Diane, that rocked and rolled. That was a good one. Yeah.
Buffy Bummers, you know what? You'll be able to pay us shortly. What happened was when we took down the videos that we had, it was like 12,000 watch hours or something. Putting it back up doesn't give you that time back. So we just need about another, 2,000 hours or something like that.
Is that what it is? I didn't even know.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But that's liberating stuff, and it translates into everything, you know, whether it's YouTube or just life. You know, people around here, they're fascinated by how America lives because you say things and they go, like it just doesn't make sense to them because there's no programming. You really kind of, I don't need any practice with that.
We did it on the last show we did a week ago.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. But I felt like I came pretty strong on that. You know, a Moose cross-eye.
I held up Moose on my channel an hour ago. He came in.
Did you get him really close to the camera?
I don't think I did. I should have.
So you didn't do this one? He's such a sweetheart. He's one of the all-time greatest cats, but he
I
does.
can't tell you guys apart when you do that. You're both criminals and you're both crossing your eyes. I can't tell you apart.
It's the eye thing is it's pretty funny. But it's the look on his face. You know what I mean? It's not just the eyes. If you just focused in on the eyes, you wouldn't get the whole moose thing. But he just has this look on his face like he's a little confused at most times.
Thank you for doing that, Diana H.
Oh, that's
that
very
is
cool.
really nice.
I
Yes.
really appreciate
Oh,
that.
Miss Sunrise Dawn, thank you for doing that, guys. That's really, really nice.
I do appreciate that.
Are there word penalties like for awesome sauce in effect on this channel as well, Reese? Yeah, we'll have to work that out. Just Joan, you will have to pay to play on certain words. Absolutely. Yeah, I get very triggered by awesome sauce, awesome possum, as you know. Love and life. It's crazy to me. There's fake stuff being told to us by authorities, scams going on, but there are people who feel like there are some sort of heroes being vigilantes on here. Live and let live. Yeah. I was going to say, I mean, it's no secret. I've said this many times. I want to move out of the country. I have visited Ecuador, and it changed me in every way. And it's not because of Tommy. Sorry, but it wasn't. I have said this. I have never found a place that felt like home. And as you all know, I'm pretty crazy about Tommy. We've done a lot of work. So, I mean, it certainly helped. But being in the environment that he just described, where it's a truly upside down, backwards tunnel of a place, like it truly is like 80 years ago, probably in America. I have never, let me just say my version of it. I didn't recognize one vehicle. There's no nice cars, like hardly at all. There's no nice cars. Hold on, I'm serious. There's no women walking around carrying like a Louis Vuitton clutch. Nobody's better than you. Everybody is respectful. And you know what I love the most? People live as like big families there. Like they're all holding hands. Grandma and grandpa are with them, mom and dad, little kids. And they live on very little and they're happy.
Oh, they're the happiest people you've
They're
ever come
happy. They don't need big, stupid, expensive things. They don't have to have status symbols walking around with them. They don't drive big, flashy cars. There's none of that. Everybody's happy on what they have. They don't have a ton of options out there like we do in America. It's a beautiful experience because I cannot explain this enough. You do not feel judged whatsoever anywhere. No one cares. And you're also not being watched. There's no cameras anywhere. Like the cops are really like very friendly, very kind, and the laws feel different. Like there's kids riding around on scooters, like 3-year-olds in their pajamas with their backpacks, like standing and riding on scooters. Like people are just a little more loosey-goosey on like what people just kind of do what they want. It's so laid back and it feels free. Is there an international school in Salinas? There is
there's a bunch of
private prep American school. I mean, other kids can go, but there's a lot of Americans that go to that school. Huxley and I are going to tour it. I'm very curious about that school.
There are 4 on the peninsula. In the greater Salinas area, there's a lot more than that. But I live on the peninsula, so it's not like being in the city. Where if you look at like, it looks a lot like, they call it the Miami of South America. It looks a lot like Miami.
It looks a lot like Miami.
And you make a really good point. The other one that really sticks out, and you might not notice it the first couple of times that you visit, but when you're here after you spend a little time here, you're going to get to the point where you realize that you will never see anybody raise their voice at anybody else. Like there's never any yelling of any kind, and that this computer is just giving me the business. That clicking you hear is me shutting windows that are popping up as fast as possible all over this thing.
There's very little crime. It's like petty theft. Like I was told, if you leave your cell phone on a table somewhere in public, it will be gone. Right. But like there's very little crime. It's just extremely I'm going to show a picture. This is what I mean. This is the cutest thing. It's a lady taking her kid to school on a motorbike. Do you remember this?
Probably.
And it's the cutest thing. Look at this.
Yes, I do remember that.
And you'll notice there's a kid behind her, and we got the backpack. Like, you'd never see that in America because there's too many weird, like, people are just up in your business. No one cared. Nobody cares. It's just really quite beautiful. It's lovely, and I had a great time. Hey, Brock Bandy, you can do that from your end, Tommy. Can you do that?
Can I do? I can't do a thing, babe.
Oh, okay.
I can't even see it for half of the time. I'm just doing that. Like, I got one window opening after another.
Okay. I meant on your phone.
That I might be able to do.
Do you get good treatment for your health, Tommy? Iwa, while he's doing that, or he can answer maybe. Yeah,
honestly, so the United States of America is 27th worldwide in health. I think that's what it is. And we're 20th in Ecuador. So it's got there's a great system. And I don't want to get into a political rant, but when you pay cash for things, prices go down. When insurance gets involved, then paperwork happens and it gets really, really out of control. If you look at, what do they call it? The LASIK eye surgery. It's one of the first procedures that people just went, I'm not taking any insurance for this anymore. When it first started, it could be $10,000 or $15,000 per eye. And people just kept opening centers that said, I'll do it cheaper. I'll do it cheaper. I'll do it cheaper. I'll finance it. I'll do it cheaper. And that's kind of how it is here. There are major surgeries that get done for under $500. It's just a very, very unusual setup. And right now, it's fantastic. Hopefully it stays like that for a long time. But you can get insurance like you get in the United States and be covered for everything. It tends to be a lot cheaper than it would be in the United States. I mean, there are plans at about $30 a month that get you into basically anything you need. So yeah, it's a pretty good system.
I'll just show this one photo. I got to see Tommy, and it was the happiest. I was so happy to see him.
I do remember that. Orange is the new black, or so they say.
You looked really good. Your skin looks good. You look healthy. The other thing I love about it is, guys, they don't do chemicals.
Yeah, the food's a lot healthier.
Oh, yeah.
The food is a lot healthier.
So they don't do dyes. They don't do chemicals. There's hardly any frozen food you can buy because they don't do preservatives. I'm really into that kind of a thing. One other picture I was going to say real quick, I just thought maybe you'd want to show the one of me and Squirrel.
You're funny, Krebs. Yeah,
I got to meet Squirrel, guys, and I've met her many times before, but, well, you're her father. You explain how friendly she is to the female population.
Squirrel's got issues with non-men. Like, she really, really has issues with non-men. Hold on one second. But so in general, she just does not like women at all. But she really, she takes to quibs a whole lot these days. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, she really warmed up to me, and that was important to me. And
I'm trying to get this kind of quibs, but apparently I'm not very good at it.
Okay, no problem. Don't worry about it.
Okay. I'm getting better at this internet thing. Well, I'm not.
Katie Fulton says, how did I know none of this? Well, because Tommy and I'm probably sharing more than he would like me to share right now. But no, here's the thing. I have a big amount of people that like to ask me questions, and I'm going to not answer most of your questions. But the fact of the matter is, if I move there or if I go there, I don't want to avoid it. Tommy and I absolutely are close again, and we are friends, and we want to see each other. And I love Ecuador, and Huxley loved Ecuador. So that's as far as I'm going to take it. I'm not going to tell you the behind this, like what plans we have, what we're doing, any of that. But it's going to be incredibly hard to deny that. And I don't want to feel like I'm lying to you guys. Like, I also just am not going to overshare. So like in the past, I overshared everything about me and Tommy, and I'm not going to do that. No. But I think it's perfectly okay to show people who love us and support us You know what I mean? I can't, it's a fine line because I don't want to lie to people, but I also don't want to overshare with them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, Lumen asked if you met Katy Perry. I think it would be interesting to hear your take on Katy Perry. She's a fantastically loving animal.
I did
Is she
meet
not?
Katy Perry, and she is hilarious, and
She has
well,
some growing up to do.
she's fairly large. She's not as big as I thought she would be. Um,
That's a beautiful cat, isn't it? Though
yes.
she's big. The only thing is you've got Moose to compare her to, and Moose is built like a bulldog. He's just a
Moose
really
is huge. I mean, I was surprised. Tommy was like, "Wait till you see her. She's huge."
she
I
is
was
huge.
like, "She's
Her
big."
paws are this big. She hasn't grown into herself. She's
Yeah.
1 year out of 3 years of growth. Those cats grow for 3 years, and I don't mean getting fatter. I was going to say more like kid, but I mean they get longer, they get taller, their ears get bigger, the fur goes up. So for 1/3 through her growth cycle, that's a big pussy cat, and she eats like she has two stomachs. You know,
So she also seemed to like me. She did this to me a lot on the couch. She either likes me or she wanted me to be close to her beehole, but she would wrap her tail around me and make it look like I was wearing a snow suit of some sort. But she was a very funny cat. I will say this, and I hope Johnny's not watching. She's not burdened by deep thought.
Not yet. She's still a kitten. She's just a 17-pound kitten. But nevertheless, wow, looks like I'm getting ready to print something. Can you still see me?
Yeah, what do you mean?
I mean, this computer is just cooked. It's so sad. And I have another one, but yeah, I'm just not gonna be able to see you anymore. But that's okay. We can.
Okay. How do the locals like Americans? Hopefully he'll be back. How do the locals like Americans? Dr. Peters, welcome, by the way. I felt very welcome. I was super like warmly, they liked us. But my take on that too is I think Americans probably spend a lot of money there. And so that's a tourist town. And I think they're very welcomed. I did not feel at all like I was. Let's see if I have my phone on Do Not Disturb. I'm going to turn that off in case. I don't know. Maybe we lost him. Brock, me too. Hey, Rue. Yes, Jan. So the idea is, oh, looks like he might be back. There. Okay. They said, they asked while you were gone, how do they treat Americans? And I said, amazing, but it's also a tourist town. And I think Americans.
Speaking of Katie, did you hear that noise? That's Katy Perry knocking things down because that's what she does.
I think Americans, spend a lot of money there. It's a tourist town, but they were very, very friendly, I thought.
It is. It's a very friendly place to everybody, though. It's
yeah. I mean,
I never heard a harsh word. As long as I've been here, I've never heard anybody raise their voice the entire time I've been in this country. People don't yell at each other. People don't argue. It just doesn't happen. You know what I mean? Everybody seems to have enough time. You know, if someone's late, they don't care. It's a very, very laid back place.
And from my observation, the biggest thing I noticed was as far as people just mind their own business. Nobody's in your business there. People don't stare at you. They don't make you feel awkward. People really focus on their own, whatever they're doing. And I admired that so much. I respected it. I thought it was very kind. Like people aren't, everybody there is not the tallest. And I felt like an Amazon woman there. I was like a supermodel. Everybody was really short. And I'm serious. I have corgi legs. You guys know this. I never thought in a million years someone would come up and be like, I'd die for your 24-inch inseam. Like I had no idea that.
What's funny is they have tents that they put up in front of ATM machines because when the sun's out in Ecuador, the Ecuadorian sun is not like, we're on the equator. and the sun feels very different here than it does in other places. So if you have to stand out and wait to go inside, you're probably going to get cooked. So they put these like tent kind of short umbrella tent things that you can stand underneath, and they're never high enough. And I sort of got a duck to get underneath them. And every time I do, people go, like, the hell was that? You know, it takes a little getting used to, because at first people look at you, but it's just like, damn, you're tall. Now everyone's used to me.
My point is, like, nobody's staring at you weird because you're tall or like you don't fit in. There's none of that. And my favorite part is just, it's extremely family oriented. There's little kids everywhere. It feels safe. And I never felt home anywhere. I've said that for years. I said that at the beginning of my channel when I started it. I am from Omaha, Nebraska. I lived in Kansas City for most of my life. I live here in Tennessee now, and I never felt home.
Bug Tussle, Tennessee.
Yeah. And going there, of course, Tommy being there is my heart, right? I'm crazy about Tommy, but it was also the people really made me feel like home. They really did. How many friends did I make? Tons.
Yeah. Everywhere you go, you make friends. And
you know, it's real. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No,
what's hilarious is I text with them like probably a couple times a week. All my friends, they're Ecuadorian. They're not expats, and they text me in Spanish, and I text them in English, and we have to translate it. Nobody speaks English, and I don't speak Spanish, so we still are friends. And what you do is you just talk into the Google Translator app, and you go back and forth in a conversation. I made many friends.
You'll pick it up way quicker than you think, though. It's a lot more difficult to speak it than it is to understand it. I understand most of it. I do really well with that, but I have to get more courageous, because like I kind of pride myself on not sounding like an idiot when I speak. But if I speak Spanish, I sound like an idiot. You know what I mean? I sound like a 2-year-old trying to speak, because there's conjugations of verbs and things like that become a little bit more intricate in the language. But I love the way they phrase things. You know what I mean? Like, how old are you? How many years do you have? Right. That's just, you know, I have this many years. I kind of like the language. I'm driven to it.
You know what I like too is what you just said. They feel the same way. They're self-conscious. You know, if you say, do you speak English? They're like, oh, poquito. Not. Right. And then I went to a coffee shop, and I went to order, and I said to the guy, I go, do you speak English? And he goes, poquito. And I went, okay. And he goes, where are you from? And I said, Tennessee. And he goes, oh, I have friends in Tennessee. And I was like, what is this Paquito shit? What are you doing?
They're all like, worried that they're going to screw up the Tennessee.
Yeah, but they're like self-conscious about it, kind of like you are. But how many of them were like, Poquito? And then they were like, yeah. So if you want to order it this way, I was like, what? What are you doing? There are not, they have expats there. I went to a couple expat meetups. The ones I went to more than Tommy. That's why I'm answering for him. He would know more than me seeing them every day, but I met probably 30 of them.
I think that's probably pretty realistic for the part of the peninsula that I live in. You see more Canadians than you see Americans. There's a lot of Canadians down here, and you see expats from all over the world. There are people from, everywhere that come here. But, you know, I think in America, we think of immigration and we think of it differently, because, you know, there's a lot more people that come to the U.S. It is still a really small population. So there's not a lot of expats in this part of the state. Not a ton, of this part of the country, but they do all tend to get together at the same places. So you run into them again and again and again. You know, you see them a lot.
There was thank you for saying that, Buffy. That's really kind. Good night, Jane. Happy Halloween. The expats that I met, honestly, super kind people, but mostly Canadian, and every single person that I met. And so I didn't spend all of my time with Tommy. I was honestly out and about doing stuff without him. Like this is how we were in the past too. If Tommy's not into wanting to go meet 30 people, I'll go do it for an hour and come back. So that's sometimes how we did it when I was there. And you met him at one of the meetups, and then at one of them I went by myself. Remember that? Mm-hmm. But the ones that I came across, every single one individually said to me, I went to 3 actually. The third one I went to was a woman's meetup. It was all women. You didn't go to that one.
Down at Chippewa?
Yep. And the kindest women. It was in her apartment, actually. She had like really good food. I felt like I was in America. It was crazy. Like she had this whole spread, and it was all expat women. And I'd say there were 15 women there in her apartment. And every single time I spoke to someone one-on-one, they'd go, if you're thinking about doing this, just do it. Like you will not regret it. No, I'm serious. And so what I guess I'm trying to say is, I really loved seeing you. You know this. But there was something to the beauty that I've seen in you since you moved there. Like you didn't move there because I was there, right? Like you moved there and you love it and you fell in love and you're happy. I felt that same sense of peace and calm.
Yeah.
Angel says, what are expats? Expatriates.
Yeah, people that expatriate. I know it sounds like you're hating your country. It's just the word expatriate means to go from one country to another, and they abbreviate it everywhere, so they just call them expats. They're people that live outside their country of birth. That's what we get called as expats. But you know what I found, and it's the same way. Most of the expats that I hang out with, and I do hang out with about 6 of them. One of whom's American. He's the pastor of the church I go to, but the rest of them are all Canadian. They're the kindest people I've ever met, for sure. However, I have run into other expats that remind me of being in America, and it's the reason that I tend to not go to like expat functions. They do like karaoke nights and things like that, and there's a lot of people that complain about things that, you know, it's like they're looking for things to be American on. I'm not trying to be a jerk, but it's part of our culture. We tend to complain about just about everything, right? We complain about elections. We complain about when I first got to this country, the president they had elected a new president, and I would say to people, you're happy with who got elected? Yeah. I mean, nobody goes, oh, I can't believe this. Every single person was like, yeah, one way or the other.
Yeah.
A couple more years, they'll get a new one, and no one seems to get heated and angry about anything.
Nothing. Like people, like I said, they just kind of stay in their own lane and they're respectful. And like, there's none of that weird aggression in America that I see. Like, what? You disagree with me? Okay, let's fight. Like, it's like, oh my God.
I got to this thing first, or, lower your voice or any of the stuff. I mean, I remember going through my days and just hearing people complain constantly or argue in traffic. And here's the other thing. In America, 75 miles an hour? Most people, the speed limits in most states are 75 miles an hour, and you're probably doing 80, 85. And it's just sort of this mindset and this lifestyle of everything goes very, very quickly. In this entire country, the speed limit's 40 kilometers an hour. It's one of the reasons they're not usually as concerned about the people riding on motorcycles or doing things very different than we do them in the U.S. Mm-hmm. On the boardwalk, where most of those images are taken, the speed limit's 25 miles an hour, and most people aren't doing that. It's a very slow environment. The ride from the airport to the city I live in is about a 2-hour ride. If you were in the United States of America, that would be a 45-minute ride without a problem, because they're driving 40 kilometers an hour is like what's right above 30. It's just not very fast. You know what I mean? No. It's a laid back pace. I don't know anybody that doesn't have a hammock. Literally, I don't know anyone that doesn't have a hammock.
Everybody takes naps.
People just chill. And the food's way better.
Oh my God, the food. Debbie, were you able to connect with moms of American schools? Yes, I was able. Now, a lot of the women that I connected with were retired. Like one of them when I went to that women's one,
right.
Lady walked up to me and she seemed a little like, I felt like when I was married to Jeff and they were angry that I was 30 years younger than him. That's how I felt with her. She goes, you don't look like your retirement age. What are you doing here? And I was like, hi, nice to meet you, by the way. I can tell you're toxic from here.
Retired for years. Now, what are we talking about?
I was like, it's the Botox. I can't show emotion for another hour and a half.
Nice.
Yeah. Other than that, though, like people are, so Debbie, not a lot of moms that were American or Canadian had kids Huxley's age. However, I connected with a lot of moms that were Ecuadorian that, and honestly, I clicked more with the Ecuadorians than I did. I like it because I don't want to be around. I started to get kind of against my own kind. Like Tommy and I were walking on the beach and I was like, what are these white people doing here? I was like, are those
foreigners?
Yeah. I was like, are those white people? Get them out of here. I really preferred the locals because
They're
I just
kind.
I clicked with them more, and I met several mothers that have kids in the school that I'm going to tour and check out. And so there's like a local public school, just like anywhere, but then they have a prep school that a lot of American kids attend, and it's like $200 a month, and nobody can afford it there. Like that's an insane amount of money.
It's a lot of money.
So that's where I would put Huxley is in the private school. I would love, so Reese, I would love to go on Does I Need an American to show me around, tell me what are the bad areas. So I already thought of this. I was like, people, I'm going to get people to go. I already know it. Like I'm starting a trend. I already have Renee B's coming. I would be too much for Ecuador. I'm more relaxed in a calmer. I would be too much. I'm more relaxed in a calmer environment. They would love you there, Renee B, even though you scared the hell out of me when I met you and reminded me of Judge Judy. I think you would fit right in, other than the fact that you're 6'11".
Yeah, blend right in. We blend though. People look at me and go,
Blend.
blend. Yeah, most people think I'm Ecuadorian at this point.
I'm sorry I'm doing all the talking, but it was life-changing for me in so many deep ways. Like I felt things I'd never felt. Like I say, I felt drawn to it. I know Renee B. I felt very much at home. The people made me feel incredibly just
Welcome.
welcome, but I don't know how else to put this, you guys. I feel judged, and I feel like I defend myself a lot here. Just naturally, we all do it here. Like they're better than me. Oh, they have a nicer car. Like it's in our faces all the time. People really like to put it out there, like that I have more. It's a thing. It's a thing. I just played a reel about it on my last channel. I did on the other channel tonight. Like people compare their all. It's all money. People are very materialistic. It's gone there. It's gone. There isn't that. It's not a thing. There are so many women that are probably 200 pounds or more than
In thongs.
in thongs. There are very few very thin women like you would see in America, and they embrace it. And I find that beautiful. Like I
That's
find
because
that
there's nobody telling them what attractive is. They're not being bombarded with, and I'm not busting on anybody. I'm sure I'm going to make people unhappy, but gay men in New York who rap, very thin and very tall and very sort of uncurvy women and walk them up and down runways and convince you from the age of 13 that this is what is attractive and this is what is not attractive. And as far as traveling outside the country and the expense of it, honestly, there are countries that are super expensive to travel to and from. This is not one of them. So
no, and the hotels. Now I'm moving. I can stay chubby. It's admired.
That's not a word down here. I don't think they could translate it. I'm not kidding.
The hotels are like $30 a night.
For goodness.
The rent prices. So I've been looking at places down there. I've spoken with a realtor. So you can rent or buy. It's up to you how you want to do that. I have found the average rent plate, like you can rent a house or you can rent a condo. You can do any of that. Usually rent is between like $300 and $700 a month. You can find a place for like $1,000 a month, but it's going to be hard. And because the families are so big, you'll never find. It's very rare to find like a 1-bedroom. You're going to find like three to 4 bedrooms usually because families live together. They take care of each other. They don't kick out grandparents. And but the housing, you can buy a house. We looked at that. You can buy a house for $30,000 there. So
yeah. Well, depending on where so as far as rents go, if you get, there's a main strip that's right on the ocean, and there's not one on each side because on the other side the water is much more angry. They call it the angry ocean. But we have a boardwalk on this one side of the Malecon, and the further you get away from that Malecon, the cheaper it gets. So if you get 4 streets over, there are 2-bedroom apartments that rent for $120 a month. And if you keep going, the rents continue to drop. But what do I have to pay for housing? So as Reese said, average. I mean, if you get a penthouse and you're 300 feet off the ground, it's going to cost you more money, but it's going to cost you what a 3-bedroom apartment would cost you in any city in the United States, right? Just in one of those like farm apartment complexes where there's just a million places. There are also penthouses on the Malecon that rent for $4,000 a month because they're 6,000 square feet and they've got hot tubs in them, and they're just sort of ridiculous. But it all comes down to how great a view you have of the ocean. Determines the price of everything. But for 750 to 1,500, you could rent something that in the United States of America would cost you $9,000 a month to rent.
Absolutely no question. And Iwa, it is American dollars. They use U.S. money there. So,
right.
Like I hopped in a cab. Every cab ride I took was $2, $2. I ate an omelet in a breakfast restaurant. The omelet, no joke, was 25 cents. My passport's ready, Reese. Let's go. I'm not kidding. I would love to do.
Renee B, they have a visa for pensioners called a pensioner visa. And I would say the vast majority of people that come here on pension visas. That's not how we did it, but that's how, because most of the people that come here are around retirement age. And if you're getting Social Security is unique, that the United States pays it no matter where it is. You don't have to live in the United States to get paid that. In fact, if you were to renounce your citizenship in the United States, they still have to pay you. It's a very, very odd thing with the whole Social Security. You know what? The cabs, you don't want to get in a cab that isn't yellow. You know what I mean? Like the cabs around here, especially where we are. Here's the unique thing about this part of Ecuador. There's a couple of streets going in and out of it. So if something really rowdy happens, they just got to shut a road down, and it makes it very difficult for anybody to get off of the peninsula. And we live in a place where all of the armed forces are right here. So the Army, the Navy, and not what they call it, obviously, but their Army, their Navy, their Marines, their Navy SEALs, their submarines, like everything is right here. So there's like 60,000 guys with M16s. If there's crime in Ecuador, and it's usually drug trade crime. And I'm not trying to sound hateful, right? I really am not. But if drug dealers want to shoot drug dealers, I'm sort of that oh no kind of mindset. You know what I mean? These aren't, you don't see drive-bys. You don't see people who get shot by accident. The kind of stuff that you see, and you don't see it where I live. You see it up in the bigger cities and some of the bigger port towns. This is a resort town that's not in their best interest to make it look bad. So, and just this little strip, I mean, you can't go 10 feet without seeing a cop. And unlike the United States, where that makes you do this one sometimes, they go, "Hey, how you doing?" And they smile at you. They'll take a picture with you. They're pretty. It's a pretty cool group of people.
I was not afraid at all to take it. So here's the thing: when I got back, I had to take an Uber home back in the U.S. And my Uber driver was from Uganda, nicest guy, and he moved here 8 years ago from Uganda. And I said, "Isn't it dangerous there?" And it was just typical, like what you guys are thinking of the Ecuador. He said to me, his response, he goes, "No, but they'll tell you it is." And I thought, oh my God, that's so true, because Ecuador, I feel like people are like, "Reese, it's dangerous. Oh my God, there's crime. There's this, there's that." I never felt safer. Now, I will say, is the drive from Guayaquil dicey? Yes. Yeah, it's
yeah, but not in the sense of the word that people are going to think when you say that. Like you're going to have an image in your head of like Romancing the Stone and them going down through it's very level. There's not a lot of elevation or no real hills going up or down. It's fairly flat. However, it's unusual in Ecuador. In the United States, every truck is weighed, right? We know how much a truck weighs. They pull over at weigh stations. That's not a thing here. So you see trucks that have too much in them. That they're usually, what makes it dicey is just that the people tend to drive differently, but it's not at high speeds. So it's not like you run the risk of the kind of crashes that happen in the US. You're going to crash at 40 kilometers an hour. But yeah, it's not as well lit, but it's a 2-lane highway and it's paved beautifully, right? Yeah, there's no problem with how the highway is paved. It's just that it depends on what time of the day too. In the daytime, it's not so bad. At night, it's just not lit up. You don't see the road as well. But I've never.
That's what I was going to say. It's not about the road, crime-wise. So I researched Guayaquil. It is supposed to be like a higher crime. Now, it is also there's very nice parts of the city. The way I thought of this, I wouldn't go to parts of Chicago. Like there's parts of America I wouldn't go to. Debbie, I wouldn't walk around in Guayaquil at night but it's got a really nice mall. Like I thought it looked fairly nice. The driving made me nervous. Like people drive crazy there. The thing about Guayaquil that actually the worst part for me was I'd never seen such a poor area in my life. Like it was, there were parts of it that you drive through that are heartbreaking. Like it's super poor. And at the same time, I drove through it and I was like, I am so grateful for what I have. You know, like it's incredible what little people live on. So it was hard to see that because there were some really, really rundown, just very, very serious poverty. But I wasn't ever afraid for my life or anything. No, I didn't feel that way at all. And you get a
No.
good driver and I didn't bother me.
Southern Charm says, has it ever worried you going out at night there? So I will tell you this, and I've been to a lot of places around the world. There are parts of Mexico that I wouldn't go out in at night, and there are parts of Ecuador I wouldn't go out in at night. But I would go out in either of those places before I would go out on like Reset. You know, if you're in, the Chicago South Side. I mean, the murder rate there is higher than it was in Kabul when we were at war. I mean, there are some cities in the U.S. that are terrifying, and I'm not soft, but where I live, no, I would go out at 3 o'clock in the morning and wouldn't think twice about it.
I went out at night so many times when Tommy was live. I went out and walked the beach. And there were so many couples out, kids running around. Like, no, I didn't feel unsafe at all. Not at all.
There's a part of the Malecon that I don't walk past at night, but it has nothing to do with safety or anything else. It's just that, especially like on weekend nights, there's a part of the Malecon that gets a little Mardi Gras like. And I mean, no one's getting killed, robbed, but there's just a lot of people partying. Yeah, it's loud and they're dancing and they're drinking and I'm just not. But on the drive from Guayaquil to Salinas, the odds of somebody like accosting you or something like that, if you're not in the drug game, there aren't people kidnapping people from out of the country for cash. It's not that kind of thing. The murder rate that you hear about is because these are drug gangs that are fighting for territory. These are people that are saying no to certain gangs that want them to transport stuff. That's an unfortunate part of that trade. But some of the people that died last year, not here, but up in some of the fishing villages, were guys that have been fishing their whole life that said, no, I'm not going to run drugs out to a boat or whatever, and they killed them. So it's ugly, and I talk about this a lot on the lifeboat, but you know what? You don't see the drugs being used here, which is always depressing to me because I feel like these people are getting killed so that people in Boston can snort blow, and that's kind of what it feels like because I work volunteer at a rehab center and go there quite often, sometimes a couple of times a week, but every week at least once. And these guys are addicted to opiates. There's nobody in there addicted to blow. It doesn't seem like it's as much of a thing, but that's what people are dying over. It's not any other drug. And it's coming from other countries and using this as a way to get it up to the U.S., which is a bummer.
I feel the same way here. I have nothing holding me here in the States. I feel like it's so easy to travel back and forth that I absolutely want to do it. I want to experience it. Will I live there the rest of my life? I have no idea, but I know how it made me feel. I know the impression it made on me, and I can't look away from that. And Huxley wants to be there, and it's a fit for me and him. And it made me very happy and relaxed, and just, I want to do that right now. It's the direction I want to go in. I love this. I see Reese being the house mother for a female rehab center for women, something that needs to be built. Just Joan, I absolutely will tell you, I'm not far from thinking that way too. There's a church there that I absolutely love, that I'd love to be a part of more in whatever capacity they need me. There are many also stray dogs there. Now they're well fed.
They're fat stray dogs.
Yeah, it didn't hurt me as much. It did in the beginning, and then I was like, oh, like people feed them a lot. But I was told that like a lot of expats have taken on like doing shelter work and stuff like that, getting them spayed and neutered at least. I would probably do something like that, but I would love to help in a rehab center, or I can't help the one with Tommy because it's male only, but I would absolutely love to feel guided by God to do something to help to help there. I would love that. It would make my heart so big to do some sort of charity work and help people. Yes.
You said that about 4 months ago for the first time.
Can we take a girls trip there? Reese, you can show us. Yes, I would love that. If Reese chose to take more of her things over, Tommy, can you help her get the things she needs?
Here's the beautiful thing. Honestly, there are very few things that you can get in the United States that I can't get where we live. For real. I mean, there were things that I was very worried about, like, oh, we'll never be able to get that. I mean, there are certain products that you might not run into here, but if you really wanted them here, you could have them shipped here. I have no desire to eat anything from the U.S., but I mean, there are stores here that sell Polo. There are stores here that sell Prada. I mean, you're not going to necessarily find it in the resort town. Resort towns sell T-shirts, and it's sort of a more of a laid back atmosphere. But there are you can go anywhere and buy. I mean, there are places that if you go to Quito, you can buy a Ferrari. I mean, there are, which is funny because you couldn't get a second gear, but you could buy a Ferrari. There's Rolex stores. Everything that you can get in the U.S. you could get here. But
yes.
Could Reese bring all 935 pair of shoes?
No. And so if I go there, I can't ship things. And if I go there, I'd have to take trips back and forth just with suitcases to take what I need. You can't ship things. It's way too expensive to ship things unless I did it on like a ship, like got a container, but that's probably like 10 grand. So I'd probably have to start from scratch. I'd bring the things that I really need. I would bring my animals. Brock, yes, I did. It was amazing. Margie Bar. Yes, Margie Bar. I have Verizon and I bought a package for international phone service. My phone worked perfectly. My phone was fine. I could have streamed. I could have done all that stuff.
Now, that said, nobody in Ecuador has a phone number. That it doesn't work like that. There's not. WhatsApp. It's WhatsApp. I mean, if you see a sign that says we're hiring, it's going to be a WhatsApp number. Everybody talks on WhatsApp. Everybody texts on WhatsApp. But the beautiful thing is they don't charge for it. So if you come down with an American phone, you can install what's called an eSIM card. So you buy a block of X number of gigabytes or whatever. You can even buy unlimited and put it on your phone. Now it's going to react just like it does in the United States. People can call you from outside Ecuador or whatever. But if you're talking to someone inside Ecuador and you go, yeah, call me at 802, they're going to go, what are you talking about? It's all.
Yeah, which I like that. I made a ton of friends there, guys. I probably have like 7 or 8 friends that I talk to regularly that are Ecuadorian, and we all use WhatsApp. And it's special and I love it.
And you know what? It can upload way more information way faster than, like, if I'm trying to text you something on your phone, like I took a video today of the ocean because it's just rowdy today. And I sent it to Reese, and I don't know how big it was, 2 minutes or 3 minutes or something. But if I was doing that over a regular phone, it takes considerably longer. From here, even there, it goes, and it's, I prefer WhatsApp. I really do. And it's funny because in the US, I just thought WhatsApp was skeezy because all you see on YouTube is like, oh, this guy was contacting these people through WhatsApp. It's like criminals and weirdos. But I got here and they were like, get a WhatsApp number. You can't do anything.
Yeah, totally. It's just how they communicate.
My phone was a lot cheaper.
I would probably, if I live there, I would keep probably my American service and pay it because, guys, my mom, I would come back and forth probably like 3 to 4 times a year to see my mom and stepdad. But also, I would be coming back regularly to get things to bring back. Like, I can't just move there once and stay there. I'd have to be making trips anyway. And so I've already had this conversation with my parents. Like, I would be going back and forth. I want to do it soon. I know that it's not really possible. I don't have the money to do it yet, but I really would like to do this. My heart loved it there. Huxley loved it there. And I want to experience something new. And I think that that's finally a gift that has opened my eyes, like culture. Here's the thing. Here's what Ecuador did for me. And I've said this recently. I don't care about any of my things anymore. I want to sell everything. I felt the connection. I felt the deep connection of that place. I'm serious.
No, I get it. Everybody says this, though. Everybody that comes here says this. That's why I was laughing. I wasn't laughing at you.
The ocean spoke to me. Of course, I was crazy about Tommy being there, but I'm going to be honest right now and say this. When Tommy and I have been apart for a long time, and I said this on my channel earlier, we've both worked on ourselves a lot. We've done a lot of work. I feel much more, um, without going too deep and personal here, like a very independent person. I do not lean on Tommy. I don't rely on Tommy. I'm not this like, I need you, I want you. I'm crazy about Tommy because of his heart and who he is. But I also know that I can stand on my own. I can make my own decisions. I don't need him to do anything for me. And he's the same. Like I think I used to have a very unhealthy attachment to him. And we
And
talked
vice
about
versa.
this, huh?
And vice versa.
Yeah. And
Maybe a very toxic setup.
we talked about this for 3 hours last night on the phone. We were very toxic. And I really love the independence between the two of us now. Like he's there, I'm here. We also talked about something new for both of us. I have not a shred of jealousy. I used to be weirdly jealous. If I wasn't talking to Tommy, if we were fighting like we used to fight, I literally would be like, he's moved on. He has a new girlfriend. Like I would just get so weird. Like I was so insecure in myself. I don't experience that anymore. Like I know my worth. I didn't know my worth before. And I know me and I know that Tommy loves me and he's not doing that. It's pure, it's real, it's honest and it's open. We were not honest with each other before. So when you create all those little secrecies, you also create insecurities. And I latched onto him. So you saw it. You could watch it on Colts and Crims. Like I felt like I was a mess without you type of shit. I don't
I never really went down there. Who the hell's Ken?
I'm really crazy about you by choice now. It's not this weird, unhealthy, like, I have to have you in my life, or like this move, me wanting to go there is not because it's like, I have to be there because Tommy's there. It's not that. I fell in love with that place.
It's got
And
more to do with Italian food and this outdoor mall that you need a shoehorn to get Reese out of. It's a pretty cool mall, though, isn't it? This is all stuff that Ecuadorians make by hand, and they're just the coolest people in the world. And one of them absolutely loves Reese. In fact, she'll run out and flag me down to make sure that I'm saying hello to her.
Miss Heather Marie, I don't know what kind of drama you're trying to stir up, but again, we don't take the bait anymore on this bit. Tommy is not in the USA.
Great. No, that's absolutely great. Listen, before we end, I'll walk out onto the balcony and show you. If I'm in the good old US of A, I probably have got a place in Miami, and I promise you that would have been outside the realm of possibility, especially this high up.
But I mean, that's a new thing for me too, is like,
holy shit.
I don't react to that.
Yeah, it's just great.
No, seriously, I kind of wanted to say this, like back to what I was saying.
Run with that though. I need that rumor going.
It's very different. And I hope that the people that heard me. It's just very different I know who I am. I'm sure of who I am, and I'm sure of who he is. And it's not what it used to be in any way. And I don't have to prove that to you guys. I know that between me and Tommy, it doesn't need to be proven. It's just such a beautiful thing, because in the past I had so many like, am I sure? I don't know. I'm not, like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And it was so toxic. It was so toxic. And now I just
real. How many fights a day did we have? I mean, it was just, there was definitely a tremendous attraction and a lot of love, but we fought constantly. It was just, and we seemed to, I don't know, we seemed to try to outdo each other on everyone. And it was just ugly. It was really ugly. And if you could have said to me, hey, you guys will spend 14 days together and not have a harsh word, I would have gone, you taking any bets on that? But we don't, we haven't
fought even on the phone. We don't fight at all.
Months. Right?
In months. We haven't had a fight literally in months. And I think we just talked and talked and talked. And I think it's just more we did separate work on ourselves without speaking at all. And I just feel like I got to know myself better than I ever have. And I don't reach for a man anymore like I used to. It's not like that. I know I can rely on me and support me. I don't need anybody. And I learned that. And I think I've gone from man to man to man and coped with sex and men my whole life. And it's not like I was without you for years. It's not like years went by, but it's really crazy the shift that happened. I couldn't be happier about the long con. I couldn't be happier about it. I'm serious. It changed and shifted so much in my life and in your life, and it brought us so much closer. And I believe it was a God thing. I really do. I'm sorry it had to happen that way, but for whatever reason, I wouldn't trade it because look at where we are now. It brought us to this point in time, and I've never been happier. And I've never been more sure of me or you.
That about sums it up. Huh? Here's the thing. Unfortunately, no one really knew the behind the scenes the first time. You know what I mean? So you saw something that looked really fantastic because you don't go on there and go, you know what, you suck. I can't believe you did this, this, and this. It's kind of not the content that you do. And it was, I'm not saying we were faking anything because the two of us were in love, but we also loved doing this. And when the camera would come on, even if we were in the room not getting along, when we would hit play, we would just start laughing and clowning with each other. And it was a beautiful thing, especially if we were in the same room. But it's different this time in that when the things, if we're not recording, it's like the best episode of Cults and Crims you ever saw, when we were just getting along and clicking, and it's been that way for so freaking long now that I don't think either of us worry about it. Again, if you can figure out the things that trigger your partner and stop doing them, you probably got a decent shot of moving forward. And if you come to a very simple realization, because most people who get their feelings dented or hurt in any way pull away, and then you got two people pulling away in opposite directions, and things don't work very well. If you can just come to the realization that no matter how crappy the next thing that happens to us is, we're just going to move closer to each other and discuss it until we can get along. And it's not that we don't disagree on things. It's just that these days we sit down and go, all right, what's your side of this? And tend to laugh through the whole thing. There's no, we've had a couple of things happen that I wouldn't share with anybody, but just stressful stuff that in the past would have been an atomic bomb in our life. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like we never would have been able to get through the first 3 minutes of it without both of us saying things that we're going to regret, and we just don't do it anymore.
And we don't have to do a show on it tonight, but I may do a show on it on my channel just solo. I used to say this a lot. We don't talk. And the other thing I used to say is, like, the best time we spend together is doing a show together, and then it would be over for the day, and like our chemistry would die and we would have a fight or something. Now it's the opposite of that. I mean, but the reason, guys, is we made a pact like a long time ago and we did start talking. We don't give people access. No one gets the keys to our house anymore. I don't share private things with people, and he doesn't either. And I never tried to protect us. I never did. Like, I never cared enough to even do it because I didn't take it seriously enough. I loved him, but I was like, this is never going to last. It's so rocky. It's so toxic. I don't have those uncertainties anymore. And the beautiful thing that Tommy brought to my attention is, he said this to me and we've never looked back. He said, I never cared enough to talk to you. Like, we weren't honest with each other enough to even have a conversation about it. He now knows our backgrounds are pretty serious and we're sensitive people, and we're both Cancer signs, which makes it even worse, right? He never, nor did I really, take the time to pay attention to your partner's triggers, not even your romantic partner, friendships, anything. If you really care about a person, why wouldn't you take the time to read what buttons you don't want to push?
And just
they've been through enough. They've suffered enough. Why would you want to constantly have someone in fight or flight? And, that's what we were doing all the time. We never took the time to stop and go, I love you enough to, like, let's talk about this without yelling or intimidating the other person. And I think that is the most beautiful thing. And I can't believe the shift in Tommy. It's a God thing. I never would have thought. I used to pray for it, when I met God, that was the thing I was praying for when we weren't together. Is I was like, I really feel like this is my person, but we just can't make it work. And I did all this damage to him. And I don't know if it's something we can undo. But if I can't be with him, I used to just say, like, please just let him find happiness. If it can't be with me. But it's incredible. Like, we came together to talk and it never went back to the way it was. It was like pure respect and it never went away. Neither one of us raised our voices. You never fought with me again. You said, I'll never do that to you again. I'll never hurt you again. Like, it was unbelievable. It was everything I ever wanted.
I would say that you have changed more than me. And Renee B says, do you feel like has something to do with both of you getting closer to God? 100%.
I know it's for me. Yes, for me, 100%. Yes. Yeah, I don't want to speak for Tommy, but for me, yes.
Try praying about the fact that you're fighting together and see how that works out. I'm telling you. I mean, you can't stay pissed off while praying. So, and when things get scary, instead of people pulling away, you get together and you pray about things. If it's a difficult thing to.
But I want
to go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I knock yourself out. I can't keep it. My thought process doesn't run that long anyway.
Okay. Well, you let me know when it comes back. The God thing, Renee B, that was just a shred of it. Since finding and knowing God and learning about Jesus and just my life has changed for the better in every single aspect. Being a mother, my Scientology past, my relationship about my father, we've talked about. I mean, I'm way more open on my channel than Tommy is because he doesn't do the kind of content I do. But you guys know that finding God has changed shifted everything for me. I am such a calmer person. I do not feel hateful in my heart. And I prayed. And so the first thing I ever asked God for, I was afraid to talk to God. Remember that? I didn't want to take up too much time. The first thing I prayed for was peace. I said, I just want peace. I felt so sad for what I did about the long con and my life was just really disrupted. And it was because of me. I wasn't at peace and I was shaky at best. And I believe that peace, when it comes, it shifts and changes everything, right? Like it fills every void. And so Tommy and I are just one thing since God happened for me, but yes, hugely.
Can I be personal without being private? Don't you think? No, I'm sorry. I can't. And here's what I mean by that. So I'm going on 5 years of doing this, and the people that have done the most damage to me in my life, every single troll out there, no joke, the people that have really tried to do things to, and I don't mean talking about, I don't give a crap about stuff like that, but I mean the people that shot videos and said, here's the number for Homeland Security, call and turn in the Scovilles. I mean, like the ridiculous stuff that happened. There's not one of those people that I do not still have an email or a text message from that said, I'm your biggest supporter. I love you, right? There are people that literally, at the time, I would have said, there's no chance in hell these people could ever turn into that. And you get to a point where you just go, you know what? And with all due respect, I'm not trying to bust the balls at anybody, but I just put up every single video on Cults and Cribs. And if you go back, a lot of you who are really happy for me, it left some really ugly messages about me. And I've gotten to the point in my life where I'm like, with all due respect, I love everybody, but what people think about me is never going to bother me again. And it's also not going to get me excited, right? If everybody's loving me, that's fantastic. If everyone's hating me, I've seen how fast that can turn, and I've seen how fast that can turn with even under the best of circumstances, 10% of that story that you know. And that's kind of the world that we live in. It's the world we have to navigate. So I'm sure that I'm bumming a lot of people out. But when I started in this, I trusted everyone, right? If you said, "Hey, I need help. I'm sick. I'm trying to get sober," man, woman, whatever. And now I've seen the amount of damage that can be done, and you understand why people get to a point where I'm not kidding. It's frightening sometimes. You know what I mean? Like I had a person spit in my face at an airport. You know, that's a rugged life, man. And I'm in a really, really, I'm in a really cool place mentally. I also live in a really cool place, but this is really a cool place. Is 420 legalized there? No, it is not. There are not any. There are no legalized marijuana or anything in this country. That being said, if you get caught with a small amount of anything, the previous president had decriminalized up to like 5 to 10 grams. I don't know what the exact law was of just about everything. When Noboa got elected, he did away with that. So right now they're not, it's not legal in any way. I don't have a feeling that they're prosecuting anybody for it because, that's just something that in most countries is done. And here you'll smell it occasionally, walking down the Malecon. At night you smell it. You don't smell it at all during the day.
I smell it a lot.
Yeah, at night. At night you smell it. But during the day, I never. Did you ever smell it during the day?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't remember ever smelling it during the day.
Yeah, I did.
But no, it is not. The other thing that's odd is this. If you go to a doctor and you get a prescription, you don't ever have to go back to a doctor. So if you take a pill for high blood pressure and they write you a prescription for it, you go into the pharmacy for the rest of your life, you can buy that. It's a very different setup.
It is.
And a lot of them, the pharmacist can write you a prescription. Like if you go down and go, I have a terrible headache. They don't do opiates. But if you go down and go, I have a terrible headache. Is there something you can get me for pain? They'll go, sure. And they'll sell you a pill or sell you 2 of them. Just pop them out and sell them. It's a very different thing than pharmacies in the U.S. But unlike Mexico, you're not buying drugs that are going to get you wasted. They don't sell this stuff.
I had to get antibiotics while I was there, and I just walked to a pharmacy, and the pharmacist gave them to me. Somebody asked about healthcare. I know that I've done a little bit of research. Healthcare in Ecuador is, I think, ranked 19 in the world. In America, I think we're 47. The USA is ranked 47. From the expat friends that I made, they said, you can, my one friend sees a cardiologist and she had to go do that. What do you call that? Where you go run on the treadmill and do all that.
The echocardio tests or whatever.
Yeah. Like the echocardiogram, all of that. She said she went and did that. She saw her cardiologist. All of that in total was $70.
Yeah. When I got poisoned.
Cheaper. Healthcare is insane. Dental work, great. The stress test. Yeah, Jamie. Way cheaper to get dental work done there. You're looking at a huge shift. If you can I looked into this, you can buy your own health insurance. It's $50 a month for expats to do that. But you can also just go pay cash if you go to an ER and it's under $100.
Sassy Savage, they still sell single cigarettes in Ecuador, but nobody smokes. Occasionally you'll see somebody, because there's a restaurant that I go to all the time and half of it has a little gift store. And I used to watch people and I said the same thing. I'm like, you guys sell Lucy's? And he's like, what is a Lucy? It's what we used to call in the hood when you could buy one cigarette. Cliff Ann.
Yeah, that's a nice thing to say. Thank you, Cliff Ann. I don't even know that it's the getting back together. Tommy, I won't continue to bore you guys with this, but we've said this a lot on our own phone calls lately. I was super in love with him. You guys all saw it. We all saw it. We all, I fell for him really hard. He fell for me. We didn't really like each other though. No. And we talked shit about each other behind each other's backs. We didn't protect each other. And I think that that's a huge thing. Now, I think that's what's important. We were obligated before. We really like each other by choice. I like Tommy. I like who he's become and I like the work he's done. And I like how close he is with Huxley. Huxley loves Tommy. They talk a lot. Huxley's got a good, true friend in Tommy. And that matters to me. So he's really put the work in and I admire him so much now. I'll never not protect us. That won't ever happen again. I made mistakes. I talked shit about him. I said things behind his back. I said things to the world. I'll never do that again. I had to make those mistakes to learn those boundaries. I had to.
And it worked over. It helped on every end. And that's honestly at every level. I think that this is something that benefited everyone in a big way. How are the hospitals? The average ER visit is about $58. Now, Reese said you can get health insurance. If you are becoming a citizen here, if you're an expat, you're from another country and you're moving here, it's not an option. If you're going through the visa process, you have to get supplemental insurance. because they don't want you to come down and be a burden on the system, because anybody that shows up at the hospital is getting taken care of, right? You don't have to pay cash. So they're afraid that you'll stop paying and you'll become a drain on the system. So they're going to force you to get insurance. But as Reese said, $600 a year is about standard. It can be less than that. Give you an idea, this place is absolutely ridiculously large, and electric with air conditioning and everything else runs about $120 a month. The water bill's about 10. And let me see what else. Oh, and the internet in this particular place is about $14. It should be about 40. But unfortunately, it's difficult to get it bumped up. You want to make sure that you get it solid the first time. It's a little bit more difficult to get it taken care of. But you can get 1,000 megabits per second. You can get smoking fast internet here for about between $38 and $44 a month. 38 if you're paying cash, 44 if you're having it come out of an account. We also spend a crap load of coins, and we have dollar coins down here, the kind that your grandkids save by state. They get used here so much you can't read the dates on them, and because the dollar is worth so much more, right? Even though we're spending US dollars, you got to think of an exchange rate of sorts. Like if you're building something, it's about 20% of building costs compared to the United States. So to put up a home that might cost you $150,000 to put up in the United States is going to cost you closer to 30 grand to build down here. Food is considerably cheaper. Stuff like computers, you're not getting a break on stuff like that. If you're buying, they sell computers that are very, very inexpensive, and they'll not last long. By all accounts, the expats say that you're better off to bite the bullet and just get good stuff sent in, because that's one that the instant attraction was an absolutely huge part of this. And you know something, this isn't going to make me popular, but I absolutely believe it's one of the most important part of a relationship. Because look, we joke about it, but my world got lit on fire, right? And so did hers. And to come back from that, if you're not really attracted to that person, you're just going to go get the. So we weren't friends, but there was an attraction there that at least got us back to a telephone, and it didn't get us back to a telephone too quickly, which is probably a beautiful thing.
No, we didn't talk for quite a while.
We did not talk for a long time. Nevertheless, when we came back together, and we didn't, by the way, I'm not going to BS anybody. We didn't hit it out of the park when we first came right back together, but it started a dialogue, and there was still fighting and still ugliness. And then one day we had a conversation, and I started to ask questions about things that I had never asked questions about, because you can listen to this channel and you can hear all about Reese's childhood. You go, yeah, I know the entire thing. I assure you don't. And my channel's been on forever, and people go, yeah, I know his whole past. You don't have a clue. And when you start talking about the things that shaped you, triggers come up really easily. You don't even have to ask about them. You don't have to say to your loved one, hey, what are your triggers? But if they tell you the things in the childhood or in their life that were unpleasant, you're going to go, ooh, if I do this, it's going to make that person. And one of those is raising your voice. And it wasn't unique. We both did it. We both said things I know we wish we could take back. But now that I think we understand each other better, Reese certainly tries not to do anything to trigger me. She didn't do nearly as much of that as I did, but it's because our triggers were different, but when she did, when things happened that made me feel, like it was what messes with my esteem, I got angry. And it's something that junkies learn in about the first year. It's right around the time that someone says, hey man, are you using something? You go, what? Right. And if that first person backs down, then you just start doing it, and it just gets to be a part of a repertoire. And it's sad, but what it takes is a really shitty amount of guilt. I mean, at least for me. And when you say to somebody after that, I understand why your buttons got pushed. They go, okay. And I said, hold my beer. Remember that? Yeah. I said, you're never going to see it again. And she said, well, I hope so. I said, no, hold my beer. I promise you, this is never going to happen again. And it's one of those things that once you understand that, like, I'm not saying I'm a perfect human being, but like, we've been on phone calls where I was upset about something other than her, and I would go, the problem is you just start bringing it back down, because as soon as you feel your voice start going back up, it's no longer just, all right, I'm venting. It's, I'm going to make her run away. And if she runs away, nothing good ever happens. Yes, you can get Amazon in Ecuador. Take you about 21 days longer than it's going to get you to get in the United States, but you absolutely can do Amazon. There's also an Ecuadorian version of it that'll get it to you a lot quicker.
Not for me. I get slow Amazon being out in the middle of nowhere. It
3
takes a week.
weeks, sunshine.
Can you imagine if you'd gone ahead and get married and carrying on as you were? What a disaster that would have been. Everything happens for a reason. Thankfully, this instance, you can see the reason. Absolutely, Armine. Yeah. Everything has fallen into place. I hate
It would have been worse of a train wreck than you could even know.
Yeah.
I promise.
Yeah. Ecuador might have an increase in population tourism due to your channels. Renee B, I know that probably will be the case for me. I would love to
look at the backdrop. I'm in Boston.
Isn't it crazy how people are like sure of what you're doing? Like
you know the crazy thing? I've not heard that one yet. That's a first. The he didn't really leave rumor. That's a first, man. That's
like
a first.
What did that person say? Like Tommy's in the good old US of A. Yeah. Like why don't you think before you talk? Like you're so sure of yourself, and that's the most ridiculous thing. I'm not sure of a stranger on the internet at all.
My view off this balcony, anywhere in the United States, I would need to be I'd need to be a little bit more well-heeled, right? I would have had to have a lot more money to live. I'm hundreds of feet off the ground, right on the nicest beach on the jutting out into the Pacific Ocean. This is not something, for grins, when I first got here, you just take the square footage, how high you are off the ground, and you say, what would this cost in Miami? And it doesn't matter where it is in Miami. You're talking about millions of dollars, which means renting it might be 15 to 20 grand a month. And I assure you folks, I'm not capable of that. But what I was saying is the requirements for the visa, you definitely have to have insurance. You also have to document that you're not going to be trying to get a job in their country. Doesn't mean you can't get one, but you have to be able to say, I'm going to live off of my income. No, we do not get any hurricanes of any kind or anything like that. There is something called the Coriolis effect. We're on we're the belt, right? We are on the equator. In fact, the halfway point of the earth, I think is, what did we read? It's like an hour from here or something. We read it one day sitting on the couch when you were here, but we're like an hour away from the actual center of the earth in terms of the equator. So there's a constant spinning that happens here that doesn't let anything else sort of get in here. We don't get hurricanes. We don't get any of that stuff. That we have a very stable sort of the weather here's. It's I joke every time Reese will call and go. I'll go, hey, what do you think the temperature is here? It's 75 degrees every day.
75 every day. They do get tsunamis, but everywhere will get a tsunami with the ocean. But no, and they get earthquakes, but they don't get hurricanes ever. Are you looking? Are you looking for a bigger place together or one each and alternate? We're not sure yet.
We'll see.
Well, we don't know yet. I mean, I think we would do it either way, whatever falls into place, whatever is best. But that kind of goes back to that independence thing. Like I'm just more mindful. Like whatever works out, I want to make sure is good for Tommy and works for him and works for me. We're not trying to bend over backwards for each other and push each other's boundaries, So whatever works is whatever is going to work. I will have Huxley too, and I will have 5 animals, guys. And I want to do it soon. I would like to do this within the next
hour and a half. Was I off?
Like 9 months. I'd like to do it. The thing is, it's not going to cost me a bunch because I can't, like, moving from Kansas City to here cost me over $10,000. I went into a lot of debt doing that. I'm going to sell most of my furniture. I can't take it with me. And so it's going to be like the cost of a few plane tickets because I'm going to have to fly back and forth to bring the things that are important to me that I can fit in a suitcase. But otherwise, I'm going to sell it all or donate it or do whatever it takes because I know how I felt and I know how happy it made me. And that's where I want to be.
That's a great point, Mock. And what it comes down to, fortunately, where we live, again, nothing that I'd say to you, you're going to find on maps because everything here is called something different by the locals than it is. But we call it Half Moon Bay. And it is a bay. If you look on my brother's channel, he put some stuff up today because the surf today is just insane. And there's a marina right here. and you're not seeing the boats do this one. Half Moon Bay is kind of protected. If you ever saw from the other side, someone also asked, did you see any whales while you were here?
I did. Yeah.
Boy, did you.
We saw some really cool. I mean, it was
hell of a day for whales.
All I can say is, guys, like, take the fact into account that people will sell fear because it works. And I think people don't want Americans leaving America. I could be totally wrong on that, but just
you're not.
Even like my mom is like, it's so dangerous there. I'm like, it's not. It's like my Uber driver who was like, I'm from Uganda, and people will tell you it's dangerous. He's like, it's beautiful. It's not at all.
I think something funny. This is classic. When Johnny Scoville and I got here, traveling with the animals, you got to kind of, it's more difficult, especially depending on where you live, to get a straight shot. So we had Katie and Squirrel Nut Zipper in 26 hours, right? It took us to get here. Between flying, we went through Colombia first. It was a very, very long, drawn out process. And when we finally got here, you know, you can't even like take care of yourself because these cats have had to deal with it for 24 hours. So the first thing you got to do is go in and set up cat food and set up kitty litter and get them to where they're comfortable and not freaking out, because I just felt so bad for Squirrel. And we're sitting in the room and he goes, man, it doesn't look dangerous to me. Every single person we knew that knew we were leaving called and went, oh man, you're making a mistake. They're killing people there every 2 minutes. And honestly, we were on edge, and people were giving us advice like, don't go to an ATM anywhere, you know, after noon, and make sure there's 3 people with you. And it's just all ridiculous. But the first night we're down on the beach and we're staying not where I live, but down in Chipipi, which by the way is way calmer and quieter than where I live. But they lit off fireworks. And one of the things you're told is that you know, guns aren't really sold here. Nobody has them, right? So we're just sitting in there, and I said to him, you know what? I don't think it's all that bad. And you're boom, 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 and both of us dropped to the floor. For real. Both of us got down, looked at each other. I went, those guns have big, bright lights too. I think we're okay. We just started laughing. He's like, holy crap. You think we're nervous?
Yeah, it's not. Now, I'm sure there's parts of Ecuador, just like parts of the US, that are unsafe. I have no doubt.
Oh, yeah.
But the place where I want to go is beautiful and friendly and warm. How long do you have to live in Ecuador before you can apply for citizenship?
That's an excellent question. So because I'm in the middle of this. So here's how this works. You can come here for 90 days. Don't come here unless you have done all of your paperwork to start becoming an Ecuadorian citizen, if that's your plan. Because to try to do it, but I knew this before we came here. I did a lot of research. And every expat said the same thing. I came here without my paperwork, and then I had to hire an attorney. And it may not sound like a lot of money, but in Ecuador, it could cost you a couple of $1,000. And if you do it in the United States, to get your background check and to get it apostolized is like $180. And then to get the local background check on whatever the last city you lived in 10 years back is like $30. It was more expensive because of the cats and all that. And then when you get here, you file that paperwork as soon as you get here. And it takes about 90 to 120 days before that first batch of paperwork would they respond to you on. And then they tell you if there's any questions or anything. Then you wait, and it usually takes 6 to 8 months before your visa comes in. You'll know if you're in trouble as soon as you file it, because they'll give you you can't live here and kick you out. If you make it by the first 90 days, you can file for an extension. But if you file the paperwork to become a citizen and it's no bueno, then you're going to get kicked out. But the whole process, once you get the visa, you have to stay here for 2 years. And what is it, babe? 120 days? Over the course of 2 years, you can't be gone from Ecuador for more than 120 days. So you could go home and do whatever you want to do, but you couldn't go home and hang out there for 6 months, right? That would blow it for you. Over the course of 2 years, you got 120 days to blow. So if you came here and stayed for those 2 years after you got your visa, which would either be a pensioner visa, a digital nomad, which I could do. It's not what we did. In spite of the fact that we are digital nomads, I went with the investment visa and invested enough money into the economy here, which can be buying a house. It can be putting money into a CD, which will pay you about 8 times what a CD will pay you in the United States. But then you can't move that for 2 years. But there's a lot of things that you can do to bring money into the country as what they call an investment visa. But 2 years, all of a sudden now they go, okay, come down and now you are a citizen of Ecuador. And then within about a year after that, you will get your passport. And it's not an Ecuadorian passport per se. It is a Latin American passport. So there's a lot of places you can go to.
Yeah. No, it's actually not that hard. The only thing I'm a little bit worried about is the animals. I mean, I've already spoken to the vet about it, and um, I have really, really teetered back and forth on what's best for them. Like, of course, I would never rehome Gertie or Kid. I've thought about rehoming Bo just because he's so large and putting him under the cargo of a plane. But here's the thing, from here to Tommy's front door, from my front door to his front door is about um thank you, not without my sister, is about 10 to 12 hours of travel. That is not the end of the world. I spoke with a vet about it and she was like, we would just give Bo some heavy sedatives. She said he would never be put out, but it would really make him chill. So it's hard. It will be tough, but it'll be a one-time deal. It's not like I'm going to take him and bring him back and take him and bring him back.
And
He'd go.
separating them from the other animals would be just wrong. You know what I
It'd
mean?
be hard. And I think Bo would love the beach there. I think he would love it there. Can I make enough money on my 2 channels to live good in Ecuador? Well, I don't make money. We don't make money on this channel at all because we haven't fired it up in a long time. So this channel is not even monetized anymore. Iwa, but my channel, the problem with being a streamer and not relying on another job is, I've said this, it could all die tomorrow. Like, I mainly have to rely on views and super chats, and of course memberships help, but it fluctuates so much, right? The first of every month is not a guarantee of to the end of the month. I can't project what I'm going to make. I have no idea. And it really, all the hate I've gotten has really, really, really dented my income. They got what they wanted doing that, right? I'm still here. I'm still showing up every day. But yeah, I think it's possible. Here's the thing, what I'm doing now is I'm saving like crazy as much as I can. So I'm trying to have like a little nest egg, like a cushion so that I can do it. But yeah, it's a goal and it's something I'm working toward. I don't know. I don't know entirely, but I think if Tommy can do it, I can do it. Yeah.
Pat Jonas said she thinks we should have a couple of places in the beginning. Here's the good news. My visa is an investment visa. So there is another place. And we actually used to joke about this a lot, say 7 or 8 months ago, 5 months ago, 4 months ago. I'm kidding. 7 or 8 months ago, we were at each other's throats. But about 4 months ago, we would joke about this. And Reese would go, we just need a place that either of us can go when we get really pissed. And I would have agreed with you. But these days, I don't worry about it as much. However, there's already going to be another place. So in the beginning, that's kind of a beautiful thing. But yeah.
And I was looking, when I was there, sorry, I'll say too, when I was there, I was looking on my own with a realtor. So like I was going around and the realtor was showing me different like apartments versus condos versus houses. And so it's just, we don't know yet. And I'm not opposed to either idea. Go ahead with that one and Just Joan. Yeah, it is so much cheaper there that it could probably work for me. I just have some big decisions to make. I've got a lot of furniture and stuff I'd have to sell. Who do I sell it to and how do I sell it in the middle of nowhere out here? I don't know.
And how do you get that one chair that I really love here? Let's not get stupid with selling stuff. I mean, you got to make good decisions.
You can figure out putting some stuff into a cargo container and shipping it here. I would do that.
Yeah. I mean, that wouldn't be a bad idea. It could definitely be researched. You and your husband are over 60. Would we have difficulty getting a visa? No, you wouldn't. The fur babies would have nothing to do with it. I mean, as long as it is another expense because you have to go to a vet that specifically does this kind of thing, and they certify the pet that they're ready for travel to Ecuador. And then as you go through, it's actually kind of funny. You go through customs or whatever. They didn't touch the bags, but they wanted to lift Squirrel up and. Squirrel, both cats were troopers. They really were. They put up with it. And Katie was still pretty young. She was 5 or 6 months old when we moved. But Squirrel was, just a pro. She really was.
Yeah, I'm not worried about any of my cats. I honestly think they'll be fine. And Gertie would be fine because I would hold her in a carry thing under my feet on the plane. My biggest concern is I have been told by a couple of vets who are friends of mine that it's hard on a big dog putting them in the cargo. It scares them. It's frightening. It's a long trek, right? So I go back and forth with Bo just because I'm like, I can't go get the mail without him having like separation anxiety. I
Just
would
got
feel
dope them
sad,
up.
huh?
You just got to dope them up. And I don't mean that disrespectfully, but especially if they're going down underneath the, so like the first probably 6 to 8 hours of our journey, maybe the first 10 to 12 hours of our journey, the cats were just, it was a Grateful Dead concert. The drug that the vet gave us to give to him is gabapentin, right? Neurontin. So it's not like a heavy sedative, but for cats, it's like, bam, we gave them gabapentin and they were groovy. But hindsight being 2020, they should have given us a lot more of it. The last leg of the trip, neither of them were particularly happy, but it's going to be one, third of the time for Bo.
Yeah, just Joan says you can buy him a seat. I don't think you can. You can't put a dog that big. Where is he going to sit on a plane?
First class. If you put jeans and a jacket on him, he's 7 feet tall. No one's not going to, for real, maybe a little hat like this number, right? Pipe. Just get him a first class seat. I'm telling you, if he's standing on his back feet, he's taller than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
A Bobo. A Bojangles.
There he is.
See, look at him.
Look at him.
Are you kidding me? Get him a pair of jeans and a trench coat, right? And when they come by and say, "Can we get you anything to drink?" Yes,
He's so nice. He's a good person. He's a
yes.
good
I would like an orange juice, and could I just get a small bucket of water from my boyfriend? Right? Treats? Yeah. Do you have any milk bone?
good boy.
He's fond of it.
The man with the curly hair.
He would look Jamaican. Don't cut the poot hair. Just make it look like dreads. I think you could pull that off. Put a tam on him, right? Maybe a Bob Marley tour shirt or something.
Yeah, he might pull it off. I don't think you can buy him a seat. I've never seen a large dog on a plane in a seat.
Have you ever seen a large dog in a trench coat and jeans? I'm telling you, just got to tell him his name is Bo.
Could you do it?
He
He's
has
7 feet tall when he stands on his back feet.
Oh, he's so friendly.
I've never seen that. I don't think that works. He can't, he's too big. How would he even sit in a seat?
I've seen him sit. DNV just got here. It's all right, DNV. Do not feel bad. We'll just start from the top. Ready? Knock it out.
I don't know if it's possible.
Hey, welcome.
I don't know if
everybody.
it's possible. I'll have to look into that. Just Joan sent me some information on it. So they have private jets that will fly dogs. I looked into that. It's $25,000.
Yeah, I found one for 19. Bargain. Let's do it. Let's take it.
Just put it on a credit card. Can he be an emotional support dog? Can you drive him down?
You cannot drive to Ecuador, unfortunately. So you can get pretty damn close. What do they call it? Darien Gap? That might be it. But if you were to drive from the United States to go to Ecuador, you're going to get to a point in Central America after you go through Mexico and all. You're going to get to a point where you're not driving anymore. And it's about 180 miles that you've got to figure out another way to go. And taking your car over that would be a difficult thing. And I looked into that. I thought, I'll drive down there. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
But you could put your car on a boat and have it sent down. It's a heck of a lot cheaper though, just to buy a car down here. Get yourself a good Jetour, a Haval.
I like the Jetour.
A Skoda.
Can you take a train? I don't think so.
No, there's not a train that goes all the way down here. You could probably take a boat. Like that's a possibility. But yeah.
Yeah, emotional support dogs don't have flight privileges. That's correct. But service dogs do. And there's no way. I mean, he'd have to go through like actual service dog training and all of that. And I don't.
He's a pretty sharp animal. I think he could pick it up.
He could pick it up, but Debbie Zito. But here's the thing. It's like 12 hours. It would suck. It will suck. But he'll make it. It'll be a bummer, and it will give me anxiety knowing he's under there freaking out.
The animals are what makes that travel hard. But here's the deal: you say 12 hours, right? That's from door to door. So he's going to spend how much time onto the plane?
10.
That can't be right.
Yeah, because it's a 2-hour
2-hour
drive.
time change. So he's going to spend 8 hours. It's an 8-hour flight, not a 10-hour flight.
The total travel time is 12 hours. And that's a short one. Like some of the plane tickets, it's 14 to 15 hours with the layover.
But 12 hours. So that's just to land in Guayaquil, or is that to get here?
To land.
Okay. I don't know why that doesn't sound right to me. Maybe it's because you're the one doing the traveling. Maybe it's because you're the one that's on the plane.
Yes. Yeah, I know, Renee B. I really don't want to leave him. I want to take him. That's my hardest decision, honestly, is Bo. I feel really bad about it. I think he'll really have a meltdown. I think he'll be panicked doing that.
He's gonna be fine. It's gonna suck for him. But you know something? I've spent 12 hours unconscious. I don't know how many times in my life. You just dope him up and let him take a nap. We'll pull him off of there. He'll be fine.
But here's the thing, like my big concern too is like, how many times have you hit delays? Like your flight's delayed. Then what? What if there's like a 6-hour freaking delay? And then what do they do with him? He still has to stay in there. Like he's going to have to go to the bathroom.
It's not going to happen. And the Katy Perry went to the bathroom. She just peed in the, I mean, you can't keep her in a carrier for that long. Squirrel did not.
Yeah, Katy Perry's cuddles are going to be a lot smaller than an 85-pound dog.
Bo is going to sleep through that entire thing. You're not going to run into any hiccups. And by way of full disclosure, you do worry about this every time, and so far, God has just delivered you without a problem, right?
There is no quarantine.
No quarantine.
Not there. There are in other countries, Margie Bar, I looked into that, but not Ecuador. They're really loosey-goosey there. They have to have like rabies. There's a couple of things they have to have there, but it's the same as here. So my daughter's boyfriend recently said they want a standard poodle. I know you told me that. Talked to Bo a lot about it beforehand. Talked to him using visualizations. Yeah, Kazri. And I'm glad you're here, by the way. Our emotional support pups have always had plain privileges. I've seen golden retrievers on planes. Well, so they used to allow that, and they recently shut down the emotional support thing because too many people were abusing it and bringing on like honey badgers.
Honey badger. And did you just say visualization?
Visualization.
Because when I screwed up birthday, it took months to live it down. But you can drop a 9-second visualization, and we're just supposed to pretend that just went by, right? No big deal, nothing to see here. But a birthday.
A reel earlier today, and it was like all these people in an office didn't want to admit their age, and they were like, "I'm 40." And the guy was like, "You're how old?" And he was like, "Hey, Steve, how old are you?" And he was like, 50. Like nobody would say their age. It was crazy. It was so funny.
39.
I think the trip is only one time. Rehoming him means he will never see you again. That's a great point, Joan. That's a great point.
And you know what? He can run on the beach. Like he'd be a happy dog. He's got wet feet. Take him out once a week to the angry ocean and let him go nuts on the up and down the ball. No, I don't mean in the water, but that's where all of the dunes are over there.
Yeah, but what was Grandma doing at the dunes?
God.
But no,
I don't know, Napoleon.
What if he jumps into the angry ocean?
Babe, you're gonna have to go over there and check that out before you say it. There's no way.
I have checked it out.
No, you were up on the rocks. I'm talking about this is just dunes for as far as the eye can see, kid.
Babe, there were sea lions. Those things will tear them apart. They all look like Jeff.
Keep the gloves up. That part of that's the chocolatera. That's
a bunch of Jeffs laying around on rocks. I was like, look at all these jesters. Is it like a jester parade?
I can't imagine what that would have looked like today. I even said to Johnny, we should ride out there because the ocean is just, I mean, it would have to be blowing up 100 feet in the air. I have video, you know, the places as you go toward this way, take a right when you go out of my building here in America, take a right and head up the street.
In Boston.
That's it. All of the ones that are on the left side of the road, the ones that are directly on the ocean, there was water spray going over the roofs. I walked down between two buildings. They was going to film. I was like, this is so cool, and just got completely drenched. And I'm not putting up the video.
Those lions stunk like jesters too. Remember that? They were stanky. I
And they
wanted to
hang
go
out in the
stop
same
a little.
places.
I loved them. They were so cute.
Yeah, they
I
were.
love sea lions. I think they're so cool, but they did look similar to my third husband.
Yeah, there's a lot of truth to that. Except they're more tan. There's a little pastier.
Definitely more tan. Yeah, less jowls. Oddly enough, I thought there'd be more, but there's.
Too soon? And you know what? That's a great point. You have to look at it as if this is going to be a tough run for the dog for 8 hours. I mean, I've done a lot worse for 8 hours, a period of time, than that's going to be for your doggy. But and I love Bo. I'm not trying to set Bo up, but you know, and you just have to say to the vet if they go, you know, you give 2 pills and this will keep the dog knocked out. You got to go. This is Bo, right? He's 7 feet tall. He's a good dude, but he's not like other
He's
dogs.
7 feet tall.
3 times that.
Bo is like 5 or 6 inches taller than me when he stands up.
Yeah.
What kind of animals did I see there, Sassy? Cool looking birds. Really nothing different other than you won't believe this, and it was hard for me at first, but then I got used to it. I already said this, but tons of stray dogs and cats, tons everywhere. But the cool thing was, like, nobody's mean to them. They feed them, but they just roam up and down the streets. They're friendly. I never saw anybody fight. There was a lot of dogs on leashes too. They didn't mess with those. Like, at first it broke my heart, and then a few days in, I was like, oh, like
They're all overweight.
they're overweight, and look, they're probably not eating like healthy, great food. But the only thing I would like to help with is spay and neutering them.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
But what they eat is restaurant food. Like in the United States, where if you don't eat what's on the plate, they're going to throw it out. These guys will take it out back and leave it for the pooches. And you can watch them walk down the street and be like, "You got anything out?"
The
Go
other
on to the next one.
and guys, the other cool thing that I love about it is you can bring your dogs into restaurants. So like Tommy and I could walk Bo in, we could sit down and eat lunch. They are not like America. They do not care. You know, I was sitting in a restaurant and literally the guy was cooking my food whilst smoking a cigarette. He was like, I only got 2 hands and one of them smoking a cigarette.
DNV, that's a great question. You should put that one up there because I was impressed.
Tommy wouldn't have moved here if they had large spiders. There are none.
Now, where we live. Now, by way of full disclosure, this
I don't want to
country.
know. Forget it.
No,
I don't
listen.
know.
Stop with that. You know I don't like Spideys. No, but this country has everything. There's mountains. There's rainforest. Right, we got the Galapagos Islands. So there are places you might run into those. I just wouldn't live there, or visit there, or talk about it by name.
Yeah, we would never discuss it. I never saw a spider, and trust me, I looked for spides. I try to call them spooters lately because it makes me feel less afraid of them. But then when I see them, it doesn't work. How did you do with the food, Reese? Your palate is adventurous. Yeah, like a 5-year-old's.
You were very adventurous.
She said,
More
"Is it?"
so than but more so than I had ever seen you. I knew what you were saying, but I'm defending you. Honestly, you were more adventurous. You tried bologna, right? No problem.
Yeah, but that's not meat.
No, but it's not something that, you know, I would have thought I would have had a hard time getting you to try that, and I didn't, and you liked it. But you know what? The food here is just different. There's a Italian restaurant here that's the best in the city. It's like 10 years running, and the guy's a really good friend of mine. He's a great dude, and he loves Reese. And we go in there, and the food there is fantastic. Like handmade pizzas and handmade pasta.
It changed my life.
It's
I saw
life
my
changing.
future. I saw my future in that spaghetti.
And oddly enough, she ate enchiladas.
But did you?
Honeymoon. What? I did not. A lot of seafood. I eat almost like if I'm not eating Italian, I'm eating seafood.
That is a really nice thing to say. Is that why you shit your socks? No, I never got. That's not true. I drank the water.
Yeah, but that was different.
Actually, though, I drank it like 3 days in a row, and then I like my body just adjusted to it. I drank
You
it when
also did it here, correct? Okay, this we have a water purification system here. I don't trust it, but we have a water purification system in this building. Don't get in the habit of it.
I did though. Every time I brushed my teeth, I would take a big gulp of water, and then I was like, "Oh,
Yeah,
um,
not a good idea. As a rule.
yeah, I can't." I believe I did shit in my sock there, Renee B. Yeah, that did happen. You know, the other beautiful thing about going to a foreign country with a guy that you're afraid to poop in front of, that goes away quickly because um, you
Now she's doing the
also,
pull my finger trick.
now you need support because you're like, I just cracked myself in my sock and the toilet won't flush. There's nothing you can do. Like you have to get Tommy and he's going to have to come get you off the toilet.
The toilet flushes here all the time. We have really solid plumbing here. And do you know why? Because there's not a limit to how much water that can be flushed. So there's like 3 gallons instead of 1.4. But someone said you look a lot better with meat on your bones, and it's just I think it's probably the tan because I weigh 15 pounds less than I did when the two of us were doing stuff together. So it might just be the tan or the smile.
You know what though? I really think I believe this wholeheartedly. When people are doing well, they look good, and I think Tommy just it suits him. When I unprivated some of our last videos on this channel, that was when we were fighting the most, and it was bad. You know, neither one of us looked very good. I noticed that, and Tommy looks amazing. You look happy. You look healthy, and you are. You don't look it. You are. So
It was. There's been so much more to this than just a change of scenery. You know, the working with people who are trying to get sober and doing it on a computer is a very different thing than going out and meeting people. And I care a lot about this rehab center, and I know that the trolls will have a good time with that. I love this place, and we're doing a lot there. The place has changed considerably since we got there, and
yeah.
it's pretty good stuff.
And I will say the minister, the pastor is incredible. Him and his wife, I just love him. I watched Tommy talk about this rehab around the clock while I was there. I watched him make 50 sandwiches for these guys at the rehab. Like this is his heart and it's very important to him. And I truly believe God took Tommy to Ecuador for this reason. It's unraveled him in such a good way. He's doing things for others. He's given a lot of his money to that, and I was truly impressed, and I got to actually see that.
You know, it's funny too because they probably haven't heard this story, but we were on our way to sign papers to get this property, and we're riding in the car, and I'm telling you, there was silence in the car. I'm riding with the realtor, my brother, and I just went, "I'm a recovered heroin addict." From the back seat, and Johnny looked at me like, "The hell is that?" And the realtor went, "Really? How long?" I was like, "A decade." She's like, "I need you." And I was like, "What do you mean?" And she started talking about the rehab center. And then when I got where I was going, you know, and Johnny was like, "Yeah, I'd love to go and help." And we got where we were going. I said to her, "I don't tell people that. Like, I'll say I'm in recovery, you know, or I'll say that, you know, that I'm working on sobriety or whatever. I don't mention heroin because it scares the hell out of people. I swear to you, it's the truth. I have no idea why I did it, but it landed us in that rehab center. And when we got there, there were 3 guys sleeping to a bed. And I've kicked heroin a lot, and I can't imagine doing it with 2 other guys laying in a bed next to me. Like that's a concept I can't wrap my brain around. So since then, the place has gotten a lot bigger. The beds are in there to take care of these guys. It's a beautiful thing. It really is.
The plumbing, all of that, like they have their showers now. I mean, you're being modest, and you know nobody wants to. I'll show off for you. I think it's amazing, and you and Johnny both. And I just that was probably one of the biggest changes that I had noticed, and the shift in you is the admiration for how much he helps these guys. Jen O, I'm so sorry you're not blocked. A lot of people like Cliff Ann Ferguson in here is one of them. I can't get them out of there's the YouTube glitch. My good friend True to It, she's lost too. I am so sorry, Jen O.
If it makes you feel better, I am too.
Tommy's blocked. Yeah, Tommy's blocked on my channel. That's why he comes in under Colts and Crims. I can't get him out. So if that tells you anything, I can't get him out. I have written to YouTube and asked for help about it. I'm sorry. I really wish I knew how to fix it. Anyway, I'm proud of you for that rehab. And like Just Jones said, I honestly hope when I'm there that there's something that I'm called upon to help. I would love to get my hands dirty and help in some fashion, because it feels so good to do that. You went from Suboxone to a monthly injection.
Are you asking me? I don't do anything.
Yeah. He's
I mean,
not taking anything.
No, I am not against either substance, but this is a fascinating thing, and there are a lot of expats that have come down here either on opioid treatment like Suboxone or Sublocade or things like that. Guys that have come down here with one addiction or another that they've been fighting for years. And my brother did a great show on this, but it's like it's like that rat utopia thing that they did. I had a cage problem. There was a lot about where I lived, and I'm not bad mouthing the country. I'm bad mouthing me. But I had lived a life that programming does what it does. And I spent a lot of time trying to escape. And if it wasn't drugs, then it was something else. And it was always, just if I'm going to be doing a little bit bigger, or I could do something, make a little bit more money. If I drove this car, if I had these watches, it was always something else. And I changed the cage. The place that I live now doesn't make me feel any of those things. And it was funny because expats would go, that's the honeymoon phase talking. Give it 90 days. And, 90 days came and went. 4 months came and went, and 5 months came and went. And I'm like, no, man, this is just different. It's, I'm never stressed out.
That's a really nice thing to say, Joanne Holly. And it's true. I felt what Tommy just described to myself. Curious if you're still doing true crime or trial videos. Your coverage of Diddy trial was spectacular. Are you staying away from negativity news? I'd understand.
No, I've done probably a half a dozen shows on Diddy in the last month or so, because I have a very different opinion on true crime, and on everything, in fact. I have come to realize, again, by stepping out of the echo chamber that I've lived in, that people say things that literally have absolutely no basis in truth, and they get repeated. And I was repeating a lot of stuff that, critically thinking wise, if I had sat down and thought about, didn't make a lot of sense. Diddy's a scumbag. But of the stuff that the guy's accused of, there's about that much of it that's real. That's enough to put you away for the rest of your life and not get any respect from me. And if whatever happens to him in prison, I'll do the, oh no. But I'm not going to keep, I'm not going to say things that the crowd says to make money. Today they're talking about the fact that the guy's washing underwear as a way to pay the bills in prison. First of all, if he got a job in 24 hours, he'll be the first guy in the Bureau of Prisons to ever get a job in 24 hours. It's a hell of a story. But the way they do laundry in there, you put laundry in a bag, tie the top of it. The bag gets thrown in with 40 other bags, your name's on it. There's nobody in there scrubbing anything. These stories sound great, but that's what I was doing with Diddy, and I ran with a lot of it that I kind of regret. And when things blow up in your own face, you start going, you know what? Yeah, you guys got some truth. And you got some stuff that isn't. And then people went and amplified that. And that's what I did with Diddy. And I'm not going to do it again, but I'm doing true crime. I come at it at a slightly different angle. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that are saying he's getting out in 12 months because he's going to get a year off for RDEP. He's not going to get a year off for RDEP. It sounds great. And it gets people to watch the videos, but I spent a lot of time in federal prison, and most of what these people are saying are just BS. So yeah, I'm still doing it. I'm probably not going to make the same amount of money because I'm not going to be the person that's sensationalizing it. And I did that in the past. But yeah, I'm still going to do it.
I love that, though, that you're more honest with what you're doing.
Yeah. Yes, I've talked to many guys down here about Ecuadorian prisons. A lot of the guys who are getting sober have been in prison. And I would imagine that the American prisons are a little bit softer than the Ecuadorian prisons. I don't think there's nearly the violence that we have in the United States, or the food, right? They're not taking care of these guys the same way. We might bitch about the food in America, but they're certainly giving you enough of it to stay healthy. It's a little different down here. It's a tougher environment that way, to be sure.
Diana H., prayers for you, babe. I had no idea that you were seriously ill. I'm really sorry. Get some sleep. It's getting late. Iwa is leaving too. I love you, Diana H., and thank you for playing the shows for the hours. That's really kind of you. Thank you.
You know what? It really is.
And guys, there's 172 people in here. We really appreciate that. That's a lot of people. If you would hit subscribe, you can unsubscribe anytime you like, but you can never leave.
Well played.
Yeah, it's spin off of the Eagles, but it's true. You might as well just hit subscribe because you're going to watch anyway. Tommy, today they finally made an arrest in the Michael Monkey Vaughn case.
No way. Are you 100% sure of that? That's probably not the right thing to say because we have a 30-second delay, but I'm going to get off and research that. I did not hear that. I know that case. So, wow, that's crazy.
Well, nice. Okay. We're at the 2-hour mark. I just mean it, guys. I did not expect, I don't know about you, babe, but I did not expect this kind of support, outpouring of support after just everything we've been through. I never expected it. Look at everybody saying how much they love us. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for being forgiving and understanding. And I know a lot of people won't be, and that's okay too.
I expected this. I did. I didn't expect this. I'm more shocked about you and I than I am about the audience. I think that when you and I are together and we're clicking and things are good, it is hard to not watch. We're a lot of fun. We really are. You're a very funny person, and the two of us, when we're having a good time and laughing, like I can go back and watch videos that we did. I don't ever watch a lifeboat video. Like I don't ever do that. But I can go back and watch videos that we did and laugh my ass off. We did some really, really funny stuff. You know, jokes that
we're good. We're good content creators together for sure. And I missed it a lot. And a lot of people reached out and were like, do you think you'll ever do one again? And I was like, probably not. Yeah.
You're not even seeing the good content.
That's true.
By that, I mean, we've got some stuff recorded that will eventually show you. Perverts. I know right where your heads went. They're all disgusting.
Sorry, that's where mine went.
You're the one I was talking to. I don't know what they were thinking, but I knew what you were thinking.
Thank you, Kazri. Guys, I mean it. I love you guys. I love these people. Thank you. Thank you for being so supportive. Poo-poo, I will, are you going to go eat?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I'm going to, but I think I'm going to go out to do it because it would probably be faster if I just go down there. And our mutual friend sent me a picture today of a watch. He said, I found this old junker in my sock drawer. Don't know how I came upon it, but I'd love your opinion on it. And the picture he sent me, it's a beautiful, really beautiful old 1956 Omega, a Seamaster. It's got the original band on. It's really a beautiful watch. So I'm going to go down there and see him really quickly, and then I'm going to call you after that.
Okay.
Yeah, I could have said, "Oh, no, I have a friend I got to call," but I don't have any friends with the blonde woman. I have no money. Sorry.
I'm happy.
I'm happy. Never been happier with the blonde.
You're cute, babe. You're really cute. I want to say thank you to Renee B. I agree. Like this kind of content I like. And going forward, I would like to do actual subjects, topics. I love the just off the cuff stuff, but I was thinking there's a lot that Tommy teaches me about stuff, and maybe we could all do something there. Like he could teach me about some part of history, or we could learn something together. That could be interesting.
I think this is worth, I know that we're running late, but I need this to be said. Who's the best chef ever? And don't say my Italian friend. Tell me I don't have the hang of it.
Tommy's a culinary gangster.
I am a culinary gangster. Have you ever had a better quesadilla anywhere on earth?
And I really felt like you were trying to fatten me up, but yes, they were incredible. It was the best thing.
Don't judge me. What is that bacon?
You are an amazing cook, no question. Jester content. I'm going to be doing some of that on my channel, and I love doing it with Tommy. So if he's up for it, I haven't asked him that until just this second. Maybe we could revisit some of that for sure. But I intend to, for sure.
Now you want quesadillas? Well, you know what? I may not, Johnny. No, and here's the funny thing: I had no idea that I could cook. I really did on this. Yeah. You know what? You think you forget? No, but if I use garlic in general,
Tommy can't do garlic, guys. It really, really gives him the wind.
I'm sorry. What was that? Pooter? Didn't catch that? The Malacone shuffle? All right. You all right? See,
Tommy
when's the last
started
time you
calling
farted?
me Pooter because I was farting a lot there.
I use a lot of garlic in my stuff. Of
I
course,
was
yours don't.
farting a lot.
Yeah, but they don't stink or make sounds, so I just have to take your word for it.
Yeah, we were both lighting it up. I thought it was the fireworks.
Well, you could stick with that. I'm sure that. Yeah, no, it wasn't the fireworks.
It was pretty bad.
Oh.
It was bad.
You can't have Italian without garlic. Sassy gets it.
Yeah, and you can't
In
have
fact,
garlic
the
without
garlic
Tommy.
bread. In fact, I might just go have garlic bread. Have him make me 2 loaves of garlic bread and talk to him about his watch and then come home.
That's what a romantic post dinner was on the beach. We blew it
Yeah.
up.
It
was bad.
And you know what? This isn't like polite dinner conversation, but you know where all of this came from? So Reese did say to me that day, if she's being honest, you need to eat all of that, right? You remember this? You were like, I got 2 of them. That one's already opened. You need to eat that one first. So I just thought, well, I'll knock this thing out. And it was a fairly decent sized tub of hummus. And then later, I may have broke wind for 1 minute and 47 seconds.
It was
Reese
actually
heard it in the parking lot and then walked in and walked around the corner. And she's like, what was that?
that was the longest fart I'd ever heard in my life.
It was the longest. If Guinness had been there, I would somehow have a weird plaque hanging in my house.
Yeah.
It was the most disturbing thing that has ever happened. I was disturbed by it. And I remember thinking that day, she's leaving. No woman hears a man fart for 2 seconds and then for 2 minutes and decides she's going to stick around. It was terrifying. It frightened me.
The long wind.
You know what you called it instead? I believe you said that was a storybook. For it. Like that doesn't happen in real life. I went, that's an odd way to put it. But
I don't know. That was just something I came up with. It was my weird Scientology stuff.
You do. You know what? She's right though. You gotta have Bo there so you can blame it on Bo.
Bo farts a lot. He just did a little bit ago. I heard it, but I don't know if you guys heard it. He farts a
Yeah, but
lot.
it's not the high squeaky girl kind. All right, we have derailed.
Okay.
It's official.
I don't know the answer to that. I don't know if you know the answer to that.
I don't even know what day it is. It's an Ecuadorian thing. What day of the week do we have, honestly?
Today is the last day of October.
No, I knew it was the 31st. The entire place is marching around here for. No, I'm saying what day of the week is it?
Oh, it's a Friday.
Yes, and yes, she will bring all of the cats. If she doesn't, that just.
I don't
When I
want
came
to.
here. Yeah, I know she doesn't, but
I don't want to. I don't want to because Tommy doesn't understand those cats are true barn, outdoor, indoor cats. They're not going to be able to go outside in Ecuador, and they're going to drive me absolutely nuts.
Now, I beg to differ. Number one.
Yes, he did.
Number one, if the only way that they couldn't go outside is if we did choose for one of these kind of a setups, if we decided to get a home, most of them have like a 10-foot wall around them. That's very like de rigueur in this part of the world. Everybody has a big wall around their home. That's how they build homes. So they could be outside whenever they wanted to be, inside, outside, tear it up. So
Debbie's, that's hilarious. But Moose is really Tommy's. Yes, he is. And I would bring Moose. I don't want to bring Seamus because makes me insane. You can't separate them though. They absolutely are bonded. And so they have to go together. So yes, I'm going to bring all the cats.
yeah. And you know what? They'll be happy as hell. I thought the same thing. You know, Squirrel, like especially when I was in Arizona, Squirrel went out every single day, ran around, did whatever she was going to do, and like Squirrel, they love it here. They absolutely love it here. The weather's always perfect. He keep the screens open. You saw them. They just go over by the screen door and let the sea breeze come in on them. Did those look like unhappy cats to you?
Yeah, Squirrel went and sat in the backyard with your supervision. These guys go out and murder things and go into barns and fight, and they come home all scruffed up. These are real barn cat thugs. I'm
I
trying
can take them down to the corner. There's a lot there at night. It's got like 75 of them out there partying because an expat goes and dumps cat food there every night. We walked by it.
So maybe we could do something like that where they.
You can bring them down there on a leash, let Bo smack a few of them around, let Moose get in there and get wild.
Exactly that right there. Yeah.
Yes, but I'm pretty sure that they can get by the background check.
They would
I
be.
think
like
they can pull it up.
Their father is retired. They are not.
That's right. They it's time they did though.
You have to go to the consulate in America before you move there.
No, I did not.
You did.
I went to the consulate. I didn't have to go to the consulate. I went there because I was trying to move here permanently. But if you're just coming here on vacation, you don't have to go to the consulate.
Oh, no. To move there, I think we're talking about. Yeah,
it's a lot faster. It's a lot faster if you go to the consulate and start setting the process up before you get here. And if not, then what's going to happen is you're going to get to that marker where you're not allowed to be here any longer. And then you got to come back to the United States, wait 6 months and come back here and try. You want to get here and get that paperwork in, because then that clock stops, right? Once that paperwork is put in there, now you're living here and life is, but for me, I didn't, I wanted to change where I lived. And the amazing thing is that I actually started researching this over a decade before I moved here. Like before I ever met Reese, before I ever did anything, I very badly wanted to move to Ecuador. And then things just changed in my life. And I was like, yeah, well, I don't see any reason to go down there. Could Moose and Seamus go to the rehab center with, I don't know. I sure as hell could bring the dogs though. There is a kitty there. Great cat too. His feet are like this long. He's just a little guy. He's got huge long feet. And I've got video of him. I feed him sandwiches every time I go there. But they love animals, especially everybody there now. So yeah,
you can pretty much take the dogs anywhere. Like you can take them on the beach, you can take them into restaurants. People take their dogs everywhere. And I did tell Tommy he has to promise me this, even though I said I don't want to get another dog. I want a tiny Chihuahua. There's a lot of them there.
The last time we talked to you changed up on that and said, "Don't get me one." I
know, but I'm thinking about it. How much do you have to invest to get citizenship? I don't know the answer to
that. You're looking at about $50,000. That's at a minimum. It could be more than that, obviously. But so if it's you, if you're married, you could do 50,000. If it's two people that aren't married, you're gonna have to do 50 grand each. It's a little less than that, but you may as well round it up because it makes more sense anyway.
Southern Charm, this is a great idea. I'll probably get a lot of hate for it, but I'm going to do that over here anyway. So yeah, I as we get closer, it's definitely my goal. I have it set. I want to do it. I have to save up the money, but I'm going to be talking about it. So yeah, I would like to discuss that for people. There are going to be people who want to go visit it.
Right. Savage, you're 100% right. And I agree with you, man. I really do. There's so much healing and there's so much that people get from animals. I think it would be a fantastic idea. I really do.
Yeah.
Because I agree with you on that.
Please hit subscribe. There's 180 people in here. Please hit subscribe. We thank you for watching.
Margarita.
That would be amazing, Southern Charm. It's an easy flight. You fly from here to Miami and Miami to Ecuador. It's a 4-hour flight. It's no big deal. The tourism will love you. Yeah, they will.
You know, it's funny. You go to any expat place, like Reese was saying earlier, if you go, oh, no, I'm just here on vacation, the expats all go, you'll be back.
There you are. Yeah. They did that to me. They were like, you're going to end up here. You'll love it. And they all said, if you're even thinking about it, do it. You won't regret it.
I've never met anybody yet. I've met one person that said to me, if I could do it all over again, I would not have bought a house where I did. But I've never met anybody that said that they didn't want to live in Ecuador. And that person was actually here, but bought a house way up the coast, a couple of 100 miles, and said, that was a mistake. It's just not a place that I want to live, but I love Ecuador.
That's why I would recommend renting a space. There's plenty of places to rent. I would rent and then decide where you want to live.
Yeah, I would say that anywhere you're going, if you can get the ability, because the things that you think are going to be really important to you when you get here, you're going to go, no, I don't care about any of that.
Right.
The more you start becoming more acclimated to the locals, that will change.
For sure. Okay, well, I'll let you go eat. Guys, hit subscribe. We love you. We'll both be back on our channels separately tomorrow. And thank you for being so kind. Reese, will you take us shopping? Oh, God.
There's a local shop owner that loves Reese so much it's absolutely ridiculous, but we'll tell that story on the next one.
I love her so much, and I can't wait to show you the things I've gotten from her and her husband and the beautiful things they make. I would love to promote her and give her a boost. She's on Instagram, and I could even get you to go over and follow her Instagram. She's an amazing woman. She's actually from Argentina, but she's become a very close friend of mine. Her name is Mona, and I love her, and she loves Tommy, and she
really
loves
cool
me.
person. She's a really cool
Yeah,
person.
she said she's so cute. Her son is 13, and she goes, Reese. That's all she does. She goes, Reese. And she hugs me. She speaks no English. And she'll try to give me gifts that she makes for me. And I'll go, no, 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 no. Let me pay for it. And she'll go, no. And then when she scolds me, she'll be like, see. She'll get really loud. And she goes, Reese. And she kisses me and she loves me. And I thought, well, I want to promote her stuff. She makes beautiful handmade things.
Beautiful
But
handmade things.
what did she say when I left? She goes, she had to translate it. She goes, my son loves this chocolate you can only get in America. Can you bring it back next time? And I said, I'll bring you anything you want. Anything in America that Twizzlers you can't get there, like the red dye and shit you can't get there. So I was like, whatever you want, I'll bring it. Sassy Savage, it is the same time as I am. Ecuador is on Central Time, so it's 9:47 there.
Yes.
What is her link on Instagram? It's really long. I could type it in the chat. She is so.
You know what? I'm gonna miss Luigi, so I'm gonna have to.
Okay, you go ahead
I
and
got
go.
10 minutes to get there. I'll call you before I get down there, or you just call me when you get off.
Okay, I'll just type in her link and.
All right,
Okay.
people.
Bye, babe. Love you.
Talk to you later.
How do
I can't get rid of myself. You're the one running this joint. Now I have to stay here until you get rid of me.
Oh, here, I'll get rid of you.
Damn!
Okay, bye, babe. You can get Amazon. What is her link? I'm trying to figure this out. Her name is. How do I do this? Kids, stop. This is her name, Mona Fernandez. That's what her picture looks like. Tommy, yeah, I can answer that actually. Has been thinking about Ecuador for a long time. Mona Fernandez. Oh, here we go. Account based in Ecuador. Mona Fernandez Art Isanias. That's her channel. I don't know how to do it. She she made me, I was wearing these the other day. Remember these? She made those for me. I asked her to. Her husband makes handbags all by hand, like tooled leather. And I got this one. Look at before. Look at this handbag this man made. Look at it. I got that. I'll show it to you on my channel tomorrow. They're incredible and I would love to promote them. I don't know how you would get stuff to America, but like I love, I love supporting small business. I love giving these people money. If you give them like a $2 tip, they freak out. They freak out. I gave her $20 when I left just on top of everything else. And she was like, no. She was like, Reese, no. And I was like, yes, Mona, it's nothing to me. I want you to have an extra $20. Like, oh, good. Meredith Lynn, she's incredible. I love her so much. The handbags are incredible. And her husband hand makes all of those. If you can get Amazon, you can get anything, right? I believe so, Sassy, but I haven't actually looked into that. I'm not positive on that. But I think you can't get anything. I take that back. You can't get like things that are banned in that country, like the red dyes. You can't get Twizzlers there. There's a lot that you can't get being there. I was going to show you a picture of, and then I'm going to go because it's late. Huxley and I have stuff to do in the morning, so I have to set my alarm and get up early. I was going to show you a picture of me and Mona. If I can find it. I had it and now I can't find it. Okay, well, there it is. She's so cute. She's so cute. I really loved that lady. She was very, Tommy took that. She was extremely huggy. She was so nice. And you guys know, again, oh, look at this. Look at my amazing mod. Thanks for your opinion, baby doll. Yadira, thank you for that. Guys, that is the link. Kid, stop. That is the link. Thank you, Tiffany B. Yadira, thank you. That's the link for Mona. Go follow her. She makes the coolest beaded stuff. I wore a big Snoopy necklace the other day, and she had made it. You guys saw it. So she makes tons and tons of really unique stuff, and it's like $3, $5. It's unbelievable. So I love you guys. Hit subscribe, and I will see everybody on my channel tomorrow. Thank you for listening. Robin Miners, love you, babe. And I'll see you guys tomorrow on my channel. And thank you for being here. I mean it. I didn't expect this. I love you guys. Thank you, Yadira. Love you, babe.